Hello, everyone. I'm Dijon,
Naira?
I'm Bree.
I'm Christian.
and welcome to the Mustardcast, the podcast about the art of storytelling and how it's used across different mediums. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see our channel grow, and to click the notification bell so that you're notified when we post. As you can hear from the beginning of the episode, we have a full cast. Everyone's here.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
like Smash.
yes, I was thinking that. I have a group chat that Bree is a part of called "Everyone Is Here," and it has a screenshot from that trailer. Because
That's
it's
hilarious.
all of our friends from school that's in it. But yeah, it's the 5th anniversary. As of this being uploaded, we're recording, a couple days before, obviously, because that's how that works. And yeah, it's crazy. It's been 5 years.
Man, for some reason, my brain was like, it hasn't been that long. It's been like, what, 3 years, 2 years?
I missed the 4th year
5 is
anniversary.
crazy.
I'm glad I missed
Oh,
the
okay.
4th one and not the 5th one.
Right?
Yeah.
That one completely breezed by me. Like I had to double check because I was like, I'm not like this isn't the 4th one, and I'm wrong, am I? And then I went back to like look for the anniversary post, and there just wasn't a 4th year anniversary post. And the 3rd
4th year didn't happen.
that year it just didn't exist. But yeah, this is great. It's exciting. And a podcast. It's crazy that this happened. This is happening. I feel like at a very convenient time because the podcast has grown so much in the last like month or so, as Bree and Christian have joined on, and we've like I've added certain sections and like just refined things, and also refined my editing process and things like that. So everything is just leveled up in time for the 5th anniversary on September 23rd, which this is being posted a day later than usual, so that it's posted on the exact day of the anniversary.
hmm
But Christian, do you
Yep.
have anything music wise to tease? Because I don't know if I've told you to, but Christian is working on a musical intro and outro for the pod.
That's so cool.
Ooh. It's very cool.
Thank you. And yes, I do. The thing I sent you, I'm cool with that being played.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're cooking!
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come back and just listen to this on repeat.
Thank
I'm
you.
saying.
It is really good.
And this is the Sonic one afterwards.
I love bass heavy music. I just do. I love the bass.
Same.
That is all I do.
Oh, this City Walker is a vibe.
Yes, it is.
It's just pure 90s.
Right?
For sure.
It's
That's
unadulterated
like,
90s.
That's what I was going for. Briefly told A about it.
Yeah.
I had an assignment for myself where I wanted to make VGM songs for a game that didn't exist called City Walker. And that was one of them. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the final product. Cool. Yeah, it's just a little taste.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the animation section, which has been very sparse for the past couple weeks.
Mhm.
But some towards the end of the year and the beginning of next year, a bunch of anime are going to start coming out. They'll probably populate this section of the podcast a bit more. But let's just start with what cartoons have you guys been watching? You want to kick us off, Christian, since this is your first time in the animation section?
Yeah. Recently went on vacation, and when first got into the hotel, because of the fact that Adult Swim starts at like 5 p.m. now, there was a lot of Bob's Burgers, so I was watching Bob's Burgers on the TV. Yeah. Overall, oh, and I did watch a bit of Rick and Morty as well. Yeah, as far as cartoons, that's really been it. I've in regards to anime, I'm extremely behind, like extremely behind. So I do want to like get back in my. Do want to just go on 9 anime. Shout out to A with all of the anime site recommendations. So I need to get back on 9 anime and see what's going on. So that's my list right now.
How about you, Brie?
You could go ahead and skip me. I haven't been watching any animes. If anything, I finally got Netflix, and so I started Netflix where like I'm at home. I don't have to like borrow anyone else's now. But I finally got Netflix and just started saving a bunch of stuff to my watch later list. So like Free Ren and
Da da da
what?
da da da.
And then yeah. Like there's a lot that I need to watch that I haven't started watching yet.
Go ahead, throw B stars in there.
I watched a little bit of Beastars. It is good. I need to finish it.
Mm.
They need to finish it.
The only thing I can really think of is Agretzko. That's like my jam. I've watched it
Mm.
since it like first released, and I sometimes just rewatch it. I love it so much. Hate how it ended, but that's a discussion for another time.
How about you, Aya?
Let's see. Also have a pretty light list. Going to go see the Demon Slayer movie later today, which is
Ooh.
exciting.
I was going to, but then I was
Um,
tired, and I was like, I don't feel like doing nothing else today, so I'm gonna go see it tomorrow.
That's real.
So that's great. So I mean, you will
That's
actually have
real.
something to talk
Yeah.
about in the animation section next
Talk about-
episode.
Right. So I'm gonna go see the new Demon Slayer later tonight. So I guess that doesn't technically count, but I'm counting it. I've been watching the newest. I caught up on not Dandadan, but that Yuri anime that's been airing on YouTube. It's like there's no freaking way I'll be your lover or something like that. It's getting crazy. It's getting a little crazy, but I'm enjoying it. It's still pretty like lighthearted and fun. But the way they explore like the different characters is really nice. And also the pilot for an animation I've been waiting for a really, really long time, Knights of Guinevere, premiered yesterday, and I watched that, and it was really good. Like, I can't recommend Knights of Guinevere enough, even though it's just the pilot episode. I just know the rest is going to be fire.
What's it about?
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to describe. Knights of Guinevere is about this like it takes place in a dystopian future where like consumerism has taken over the entire planet. So there's people that live below on the surface and work like menial jobs, you know, like waste cleanup, stuff like normal people jobs. And then there's this floating theme park, which makes up like kind of the upper echelon of the rest of the world. And that's where like people spend a whole bunch of time, a whole bunch of money. Everyone that works and lives up there is like has a very high quality of life. And it's all kind of like overseen by these androids. They're kind of like the face of the park. They're called Guinevere androids, and they're very beautiful. And one of them falls to the surface, and this down on her luck kind of like repair woman who wants to work in like the upper echelon finds her, tries to repair her, and shenanigans ensue. And that's all I'll say because I don't want to spoil it, but it's really good.
Oh, it sounds interesting.
Definitely a recommended watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just looked it
Very
up because I was like, this sounds really familiar. I remember when they first dropped like the small trailer, like
Drop it.
teaser for this. Oh, I didn't know the pilot was out. I
I
gotta watch it
know.
now.
Yeah, that sounds
You
interesting.
you do. It's really good.
Yeah, for me, still watching Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes alongside Blind Wave. They're close to finishing it. I'm excited for whatever they watch next. Batman Beyond, watching that as well, rewatching that, while also simultaneously watching Blind Wave watch for the first time. And that's fun. Batman Beyond's such a good show. They rarely bring back any older villains, and most of the villains in that show are original villains, and they're all great. And it's Batman Beyond, so good. It sucks that somebody who worked on Spider-Verse pitched a Spider-Verse style Batman Beyond animated movie to WB, and they shot it down. Whoever shot that down deserves to be shot.
Oh my gosh.
Look up Batman Beyond movie concept art,
Poetic justice.
and you'll be upset. Okay.
I remember looking at it and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a thing. And then, yeah,
And of course, also watching
it's
Dan to
so
Dan.
cool.
I'm caught up on Dan to Dan. Well, I'm finished the second season. I thought it was going to be 13 episodes like the first season, but it was only 12. Because I was like, oh yeah, one more episode, and then it ended in a way that made it very clear it was the end. And I was like, oh, fuck me, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you don't have to wait 1,000 years for the next season. Um, hopefully it's like
True.
sometime next year. Wait, that's all I've been watching. Moving on to some trailers and news. There was a trailer for JoJo. Well, that wasn't a trailer. It was just a teaser for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Steel Ball Run, Part 7. Which means it's time for me to finally finish Part 6, Stone Ocean, because I didn't finish it because I don't like binging things, and they released it all at once, and I hate them for it.
Oh,
Which is funny because I binged everything else of JoJo, but Steel Ball Run just happened to not Steel Ball Run. Stone Ocean just happened to come out when I was at the end of my binging era, where I got tired of binging things and I preferred watching things weekly. So now I'm like, they're probably gonna do the same thing with Steel Ball Run, and I'm gonna hate it. Um, but yeah, I need to finish Stone Ocean. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read to where I left off to refresh my memory, and then I'll watch the rest from there. But
Smart.
yeah, last in animation news for me is that Arcane won 4 Emmys.
4
4
Emmys.
Wow.
Emmys.
Sheesh.
Whoa.
So the
As
first,
they deserve, honestly.
oh, 100%. Should have won that game award, but Emmys, arguably bigger. Not arguably, they are. But they won an Emmy for the episode The Message Hidden Within the Pattern, for outstanding individual achievement animation, for Faustine de Montier, who was on color script and a color key artist. And then they won 3 Emmys for the finale, The Dirt Under Your Nails. One for Outstanding Animated Program, one for Outstanding Sound Editing for an Animated Program, and another Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation for Bruno Cochino, who was a background designer. So yeah, shout out to Arcane. Arcane, again,
Mm,
revolutionary.
yeah.
That's the reason I think it should have won over Fallout Season 1 at the Game Awards. Fallout Season 1, great, good show. But it didn't change the game. Arcane has changed the landscape of animation, and potentially we will never see anything like it again except for a sequel series.
Yeah.
Like Arcane
Yeah.
is a once in a lifetime piece of art, where this is a thing that was funded and spearheaded by Riot Games, by the studio who made the original game. Not they pass it off to a bigger studio to work on it. No, one of the creators of League of Legends wanted to make an animated series. Everybody said, "Are you stupid?" And then he just kept pushing until he made it happen. His name's Christian Link. He's one of the lead
Right.
writers on the show. And then they built up Studio Fortiche, who is the studio that did a lot of their trailers, their animated trailers for different champions. They built up that studio, increased their staff to work on this show. And now Fortiche is also, continue to work on stuff for League of Legends and Riot Games, but also they're working on an original animated project based around Greek myth that looks really cool. There's a poster for it that I need to look up the name of it because I can't remember what it's even called. It's based around a very specific Greek legend. It is Penelope of Sparta. And if you look at the poster, which I'll just I'll send a screenshot of it. It looks like it'll be great. Just based on just the art of this alone. If we were to just use that to judge how good it'll
Yeah,
be.
didn't you say this used to be a book or something like that?
So I forget what Greek legend exactly was. It's inspired by. But essentially the story is basically taking a bunch of Greek like heroes and putting them in a high school setting, and that's
Wow.
kind of like the concept for the movie as a whole. And yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. But yeah, Arcane, like I said, revolutionary, changing the world of animation, and I'm excited to get more whenever they get around to making that sequel series that takes place in a different part of the world of Runeterra, as it's called. But moving on to comics, unless you guys had anything else you had to say about in terms of animation.
Oh,
Aw.
I do. Just really quickly. So remember how I've been talking up the anime adaptation of Witch Hat Atelier
Mm-hmm.
for months and months and months? Like, yay, I'm so excited for it to come out. It has been delayed to 2026,
Dang.
which is tragic. It's bleak, but
Now, if we get
you know, I would rather
GTA
them.
before this, the world's gonna be crazy.
I'm saying it's like I'm not upset because you know, like I want them to have more time to work on it because I know this is a very labor intensive like thing to animate, especially given like how Witch Hat Atelier is like drawn and stuff. But also I sad. I was so ready for it. And oh, another thing really quickly. So I don't know if you heard any of you. They're going to be debuting two the first two episodes of Trigun Stargaze at New York Comic Con this year.
I didn't know that.
Alongside a panel with Yasuhiro Naito. Yeah, yeah. They just announced it like a couple days ago. And I am so jealous to anyone who gets to go to New York Comic Con because that's so cool.
That is sick.
And you know, the fandom's been in kind of an uproar about it, but it's very sick. Very sick.
Yeah, excited to see
That's all.
that. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, that's exciting. I still need to rewatch Stampede English dubbed because I watched it subbed when it was
It is.
airing. Got to hear my boy Johnny Young
The dub
Bosch.
is really good.
It's
I'm
crazy
saying.
that two anime starring Johnny Young Bosch came back, and I watched both of them subbed. I watched Bleach on Your Blower arc subbed, and I watched Stampede subbed because you know they weren't simul-dubbed, so the dubs weren't out yet, and I was watching them as they were airing. So I got to go back and watch both of them to
Right.
hear Johnny Young Bosch as Vash and as Ichigo. But yeah, moving
His
on. Sorry,
performance as Vash in Stampede specifically. Oh, yeah. His performance as Vash in Stampede specifically is so good. Like, I don't know what they were feeding him. It was a banger.
yeah, I hope we get more goofy Vash in Stargaze because they made him too serious in Stampede.
For sure.
But yeah, moving on to comics. Ira, why don't you start us off with what you've been reading lately?
Okay. Still reading Claymore. Claymore is great. No notes on that. And Hellsing. Hellsing is also great. No notes on that. There's another thing that I was thinking of that I had read like on my own time, and it wasn't a manga, but I can't remember what. Oh, I reread the graphic novel for A Wrinkle in Time for the first time in a really, really long time. And I forgot how good of an adaptation that is, especially for like, you know, A Wrinkle in Time is not like a very dense book, but it's hard. It would be hard to translate over into like a visual medium like a graphic novel, but the graphic novel for it does such a good job, and it's making me want to reread the actual novel again because it's been a really long time. I love the Time Quintet; it's great. And then another thing that we will also discuss later, but
Secret third thing. How about you, Brie?
secret third thing, yes.
I'm still working on my shoot, what is it called? Oh, Way of the House Husband and my huge pack. Like it's like a set of I think 10 books of Princess Jellyfish. I'm
Whoa,
nowhere
what's
near
that about?
finishing that, but that's um so they do have an anime. The anime was the first thing I watched, and then I was like, man, I really have to like read the manga, but like I never read it for years until like one of my friends bought me the 10 pack, like the 10 set for my birthday. And basically it's about essentially finding yourself and like I don't know, it's like a coming of age kind of manga, but I don't know. It's like so if you think about how we were in like middle school, high school, it's kind of like that. But it's like teaching you to like really accept yourself and like how to blossom as a person, how to like forge like your friendships and whatnot. I don't know, it's very like near and dear to me. It taught me how to be who I am today, if I'm completely honest. Like, you can be weird, but weird with style.
Yeah, that looks
Maybe I
cool.
should grab a book and like read what it's talking about, but
Yeah,
it's
no,
very
I think that was a
pretty,
good
very
explanation.
cute.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Anything else?
Well, that's about it.
Okay. How about you, Christian? You been reading anything lately?
As far as comics,
Any kind of books,
no,
really?
but as far as but in general, in regards to books, it's a Haruki Murakami collection of short stories called Men Without Woman. And one of the first stories in the book is titled Drive My Car, which the South Korean film is based off of. So I'm slowly, surely making my way through that. And yeah, the way that he describes opening the door or getting water from a faucet, it it's very prose like. And he injects that prose in everything. Like nobody just moves their hair. They delicately maneuver their hair strand. It's like the way that he is poetic in his writing is very cool.
I'm just imagining
So
that
yeah,
that scene in Death Note. I took a chip and I ate it.
no, for real. Like, and it's that type of style. And like it's very musical the way that he writes. So making my way through that. Also it's another book that I haven't gotten yet, but it's in my like wish list. The name of it is Jackson Rising, and it's kind of more into like the socioeconomic lane. And it's him talking about doing grassroots work in Jackson, Mississippi. And that book was definitely on my radar for a minute because like often the question is like, oh, like in regards to infrastructure or environment stuff, like what's going on in Memphis or what was going on in Prince George's County with that AI site being threatened to be built. It's like, what do we do after that? And he was like, I have a solution. And it's like a full on like eco socialist manifesto. And it's like the tightest, coolest, like community based work book. So I'm planning on getting that soon. And yeah, I'm just going to be reading a lot of prose based stuff and community organizing stuff. And yeah, that's mainly what's been in my literature lane for the most part.
Yeah, that sounds dope. I love the diversity of what we're all reading.
I know.
Because what I'm going to
Yeah.
start off with is Game Informer, like it's goddamn 2008. Um, yeah, so
Yo,
you know,
Game Informer?
Game Informer, they went under and then they came back. They're now independent, and I subscribed, and I've been getting them, and I got the third one. And the most recent, the cover issue. I got home from work, saw it on my step, I saw the cover, and I was like, oh, it's Yakumo, the main character of Ninja Gaiden 4. And I was so excited. I was like, ooh, I'm going to read this Ninja Gaiden 4 cover story. And then I'm flipping through the pages. And then behind the Ninja Gaiden 4 cover story, as great as it was, great article. And Dan, let me go grab it actually so I can say the name of the person who wrote it.
Man, I remember I used to get Game Informer like delivered to our door. Like my dad had a subscription. I just thought it was just something that popped up in the mail. I didn't know it was like an actual subscription. But I loved
Sa-
getting them. I think I saved majority of them,
Oh, I
but they're
have.
like back in my parents.
I have almost
Mm.
all of mine. Like when they went under, I went and like pulled them all out and I bought some containers for them because I was like, I gotta preserve these. And then I bought some like last few ones
hmm
that I was interested in. It is
I had this.
go ahead.
No, yeah, I had the same experience. My dad had a subscription, and I thought it was just the state of Maryland just giving us these game magazines. I did not know it was a subscription at all. Um, but yeah, like as a physical medium, I remember having like the Batman Arkham City issue. That
Oh,
was like one of my
same.
favorite. It was one of my favorite issues because it was that white cover
Yeah, I remember
and
that
like
one.
yeah, yeah. Like I didn't know that they came back. That's cool.
Yeah. So this
I didn't know that either.
article is written by Brian Shea. And yeah, it was great, hearing about the game's development. I enjoyed that. But I'm already as hype as I can be for that game. So there wasn't really much they could do in that department. But directly after that was an article about Mina the Hollower with an interview from the game director at Yacht Club Games. And I was already excited for this game. But now my excitement is almost Ninja Gaiden 4 levels. I played a demo of this game a few weeks back. Talk about it with Atelier. This is a game from the Shovel Knight developers, their first new IP in a decade. and it's kind of like a combination of those old isometric Zelda games and Castlevania. And the mechanics go way deeper than I ever could have imagined, which is why my excitement has been boosted. And it releases Halloween Day, just 9 days, not even 9 days actually. Yeah, no, 9 days after Ninja Gaiden 4. But yeah, in terms of comics, I've been reading some, still reading the same three manga. I'm reading Chojin X, I'm reading Chainsaw Man, I'm reading Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi is so good. It lived up to the memes. It's so good. And I'm pretty sure it's been. Has it been announced as an anime adaptation? I think I heard that somewhere. I don't know if that was a rumor or if it was official, but it's gonna get an anime adaptation. That's just, it's inevitable. And Godspeed to whatever anime studio they choose, because they got a task ahead of them. Because the fights in this are pure cinema. I'm excited. And was it the Chainsaw Man? The movie comes out pretty soon, sometime in October. Chojin X is a series by the creator of Tokyo Ghoul, and that's been really good. In terms of American comics, I started reading or finishing, or I reread it from the beginning because it had been a while. Angela, Assassin of Asgard, because Angela was added to Marvel Rivals, and I became obsessed with her a couple years ago. So when they added her, I was like, yes, my obsession is paid off. So I decided to finish this comic. So I'm in the middle of that. I read Radiant Black number 33. Do you know what Radiant Black is? It's essentially the creator describes it as Invincible meets Power Rangers. It's meant to be kind of like a Power Rangers style story, but with like the storytelling style of Invincible, but it's nowhere near as violent. But yeah, that's the only indie comic I've read lately. I am reading a few. I just haven't read any in a while. In terms of Marvel, the Ultimates number 15 or 14 and 15, Imperial number 3, as well as the tie-in comics for Black Panther, She-Hulk, and the Exiles. I read Marvel Knights: The World to Come issue number 2, and the people were right. Wakanda's white son. Black Panther's white son is weird, and I don't like this comic anymore.
Wait, what?
That's a crazy.
So-
that's a wild sentence.
In this comic, Black Panther adopted a white son, and now that white son is trying to steal the throne from T'Challa. And so here's the thing: the first issue was good, and I liked it, and I was like, okay, let me see where this goes. And then I read the second issue. I was like, okay, never mind. I don't need to see where this goes. It's weird. The problem is, I'm gonna finish it. I'm just no longer gonna buy it physically. I'm gonna wait till it hits the apps, and then I'm gonna read it there, because I'm morbidly curious now where this story's gonna go. And if they could even, the writing's weird. It's strange. I can't remember the character's name, but is it Ross? Everett Ross, maybe? The character that...
Yeah, it says biological father. Yeah, Everett Ross.
Yeah, Everett Ross. The dude that was played by Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit. Wow. I forget that actor's name. He played them in the Black Panther movies.
Martin Freeman?
Yeah, Martin Freeman.
I think.
The only white man in those movies. That's Everett Ross. And they made him weirdly racist in this. I don't know why. I haven't read a lot of Black Panther comics. So I can only base what I know about him from the movies. And I feel like the point of his character is he's supposed to be the white guy that's invited to the cookout because he's cool. But they're making him racist in this. And it's weird. Like racist in a very specific, like passive aggressive ways. It's unfortunate.
Ooh, not the microaggressions.
Yeah,
that's
that's
worse, I think, than him being like outwardly racist.
Yes.
Because it means whoever's doing the writing had to know what a microaggression is. And while I will give them the benefit, no, they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt.
They don't deserve that at all. One of them's black.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
One of those writers is black, by the way.
Oh my God.
So probably has experienced microaggressions, but that other writer, I'm like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just what do you know?
telling. Right.
So
What
it's
do
like,
you know? What have you told people of color?
It's just, Who came up with the idea of the white sun? I'm so
But
stuck on
I
that.
know it's a wild comic.
Right.
It's a
It's
very
just
wild comic.
like
Yeah, I also read Ultimate Spider-Man number 19, and I'm still got a little bit of that stack of comics that I showed you guys last week to get through. Uh, in terms of DC comics, I read Birds of Prey number 24, Absolute Superman number 10, Poison Ivy number 35, Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League number 1, Nightwing issues 123, 124, Absolute Batman 11, Batman Patterns number 9, Action Comics 1089, Supergirl number 4, and Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over number 5. Always reading a lot of comics, Christian. Reading so many comics all the time.
Mhm.
But yeah, well, Wonder Woman of the Amazons, or Wonder Woman: Story of the Amazons was the last book we read. It was 3 issues, written by Kelly Sue DeConnick. But today we are starting our journey on Tom King and Billy Cass Evely's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Like I said, written by Tom King with pencils and inks by Billy Cass Evely. The colors are by Matthias Lopez, letters by Clayton Cowles, the cover by Evelyn Lopez, and edited by Brittany Hauser and James S. Rich. Quick synopsis of the first 2 issues. Kara Zor-El has seen some epic adventures over the years, but finds her life without meaning or purpose. Here she is, a young woman who saw her planet destroyed and was sent to Earth to protect a baby cousin who ended up not needing her. What was it all for? Wherever she goes, people only see her through the lens of Superman's fame. Just when Supergirl thinks she's had enough, everything changes. An alien girl seeks her out for a vicious mission. Her world has been destroyed, and the bad guys responsible are still out there. She wants revenge, and if Supergirl doesn't help her, she'll do it herself, whatever the cost. Now a Kryptonian, a dog, and an angry, heartbroken child head out into space on a journey that will shake them to their very core. And for issue number 2, after the shocking conclusion of the last issue, Supergirl and her new friend Ruthie find themselves stranded with no way to pursue Krim, the murderous King's agent. Each moment this fugitive roams free, the more beings become dangerously close to dying by his hand. There's no time to lose, so our heroes must now travel across the universe the old-fashioned way, by cosmic bus. Little do they know, their journey will be a dark one filled with terrors that not even the Maid of Might is prepared to face. Can Kara Zor-El lie low long enough to ensure their safe passage? So as usual, we like to start with the art. As far as I know, I believe this is my first experience back when I read this a couple years ago with Billy Cass Evely's art, as brought to life by the colors by Matthias Lopez. And it was the second issue in particular that really opened my eyes to how talented these two are. With that scene where Supergirl uses red kryptonite to turn herself into a phoenix and kill a space dragon. That's right, Christian. In fact, I took some screenshots. I think I'll send those in the chat. And I'm real excited to
Say it out
see
loud, it sounds crazy.
yeah,
how.
that's the coolest
Yeah.
sequence of words.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how they adapt it for the movie. But yeah, what did you
Oh,
guys?
that's crazy looking.
Yeah, what did you guys
Wow, that's cool.
think of the art?
Thought it was gorgeous.
It's so
I like
beautiful.
that Supergirl, like I like that everyone, not even just Supergirl, but like everyone has such a soft face, but like it really contrasts with like kind of the violence that's that like is the crux of the narrative, and I think that's like a really interesting visual thing that they did there, even if it's not purposeful.
Yeah, it was very hard to like pick what screenshots I like to send in the chat
I'm
because
glad
like
you
everything
didn't
is
send
so
those.
aesthetically. Yeah, no. Everything that's so aesthetically pleasing. I was like, I feel like I shouldn't send Dragon one. Yeah, I feel like I should be like, very, very chill on what I send. But these, oh my gosh, the colors, it's like they don't like bash each other. Like this is not muddled together at all. Everything is very distinct and like it sits on each other like very nicely. Even like the text, it's not cluttered. It's very easy to read. Like, oh my gosh, so inspired.
Very refreshing after reading that old comic with that old text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other moments visually stuck out to you guys? Because I know you sent some images. If you guys want to look at the images that Bree sent, you can go to the comics channel.
I really like the scenes where she was fighting in the bar. Like it's very hard to like illustrate fighting, but like everything was very cohesive. Like there was like a flow to it, so you could tell what exactly was going on. I really like those panels, and like the one where she's like standing over the guy. You just see Crypto in the back. Ah, gorgeous.
Yeah, to quickly kind of explain that situation, the story itself is written by Tom King, um, and is very wordy by modern comic standards. The narrator, who is the one of the lead characters, Ruthie, um, is narrating the story from the future, recounting her adventures with Supergirl, and
Mhm.
she is extremely verbose, and that can make this a bit of a tough read at times. But for better or for worse, this is Tom King's mo. He loves to tell stories through the narration of a character who witnessed the actions of the lead character, and I personally enjoy it when it's done in moderation in a shorter story like this, as opposed to his current ongoing run of Wonder Woman, which has sparked a lot of very specific controversies that we've talked about before, and I'll bring back up when we're at the very end of this comic. Um, but in the first issue, it's all set up with Ruthie narrating the circumstances that led to her meeting Supergirl. Um, Her family took in a man named Krem of the Yellow Hills, who then killed her father and ran away. Um, and then Ruthie leaves her family farm to hire a mercenary to kill Krem, where she comes across Supergirl and Krypto, who have come to this planet to celebrate Supergirl's 21st birthday under a red sun, which saps her powers so she can get drunk. And after saving Ruthie from being robbed, Ruthie decides to, um, she decides that Supergirl is the best option of mercenary and follows her back to her ship, insisting that she help her. Um, when Krim shows up and shoots Supergirl with an arrow, because the man who attempted to rob Ruthie but was thwarted by Supergirl went and snitched. Um, and then Crypto, of course, being Crypto, goes to attack him, but Crypto doesn't know that he doesn't have powers, and he gets shot by an arrow. But that arrow is poison tipped, as revealed in the second issue. And in anger, Supergirl, no powers, still catches a sword with her hand and just beats the shit out of him, causing Krim to run away in fear and board Supergirl's ship, which was preparing to take off. And it just automatically takes off, and he shoots off in her rocket. And this second issue follows their intergalactic bus travel to a solar system with a yellow sun, so that Supergirl can get her powers back and go and find Krim to get a sample of the poison he used on Crypto, so that they can make an antidote. But Supergirl doesn't remember what he looks like, so she's bringing Ruthie along. But yeah,
Okay, so Crypto isn't like, dead or anything. He's just like gravely wounded.
yeah, he's just
Okay, I was very scared because I feel like if he did pass, this could have went like very, very differently.
oh man, Superman comics would
Yeah.
change forever. Also,
Right?
something I thought they might do, but I don't think they will, was maybe replace Crypto in the movie with Sparky. Yes, I think Sparky, the super cat. Supergirl has a cat that also has superpowers.
Mm.
Oh,
Um,
cute.
and yeah, I thought they might do that, but no. It seems like they're still going to use Crypto. They did introduce
Okay.
him in the Superman movie, so it makes sense. They didn't have him show up in that
Mhm.
movie just to not have him show up in the other movie based off of the comic where he's one of the main characters.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah,
I think for me,
yeah, go ahead.
oh,
I was just going to ask you, what did you
I
think of the story
really,
anyway?
I really enjoyed how verbose. Of course, her name escapes me, and
Ruthie.
I just reread the comic this morning to make
It's
sure.
it's spelled
What was it?
weird. It's spelled weird, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Ruthie.
Yeah, Ruthie. I like how verbose she is, especially compared to Supergirl. And also, I was going into this expecting like Supergirl to be like just Superman but a girl, but I like that she's a little bit of a crash out, like a crash out, a burnout. Like I like that
That
she's
is
relatively normal compared to him.
all of the
And
worst Supergirl stories are the one where they just write her as Superman but a girl. That is a big criticism
yeah, like
of the Supergirl TV show that was on CW, is that people enjoy it for what it is, but people who are like hardcore into Supergirl comics don't like that show because they literally just make her Superman but a girl, because I think they actually
but a
wanted it to
girl.
be a Superman show, but they couldn't for whatever reason. And to the point to where
Mm.
she works as a reporter, which is not a thing that Supergirl does. She's not a reporter, but they literally
That's
make
insane.
her basically her identity is basically kind of Clark Kent, and she's as Supergirl behaves like Superman, which is just not who she is.
No, she's literally an alcoholic. Like,
Right.
Well, it was her birthday. She turned 21. She was celebrating.
yeah, but depression.
Well, when your planet blows up.
Yeah, it's like there's a
Exactly.
yeah. There's a very much like an air of sadness about her that like you don't get from Superman, and I thought that was really like a really fascinating angle to play it from.
Yeah, like they mentioned at one point, Ruthie says in her, very, very brisk dialogue, that Supergirl, she was comparing herself to Supergirl and how Supergirl, she grew up on Krypton. She was a teenager when it exploded. So unlike Superman, she got to actually experience life with her family, and Superman's parents are her aunt and uncle and her friends, and she went to school and she experienced that culture, and then it was gone. So she's a very sad person as a result.
Like in the comics, they perfectly illustrate how lost in thought she is. Like she always has like her eyes closed and like I don't know, it's just quiet sometimes. I'm like, girl, I don't think therapy can help at this point.
Yeah,
And she's also like much
It's like I
quicker.
don't know how you stayed a superhero, but me, uh,
Yeah, she's also much quicker to violence than Superman is. Like you said, she's a crash out. Like somebody messes with her, she
right.
immediately punches them in the face. There's no questions, there's no talking. But then there was that moment of kindness where, when when she discovers that Ruthie doesn't wash her hands, she doesn't get upset. She doesn't get angry. And Ruthie says, "Let me go to the page." It says, "And it began as most things begin when you're dealing with Supergirl, with a moment of kindness." She finds out that for the month that they've been traveling, Ruthie does not wash her hands because she just doesn't do that where she comes from, because they have like limited water. And then she goes, "Okay, that's fine. Come here. I'm gonna show you how to wash your hands." Because
I thought that was so sweet.
that's an aspect
Yeah.
that's an aspect of a character that she does share with Superman. It's just that almost infinite kindness.
And it's like I like that they managed to make her a crash out without her killing it. Because a lot of like comics and just media in general will have a crash out, but the crash out just kills. And I'm like, that's not fun. You're not a crash out at that point. You're just a serial killer. Like you're in it for the love of the game. But the fact that she knows the own limit, like the limits to her power and like how much force she can apply before someone breaks, I think that's really interesting.
And also the fact that she doesn't need her powers to beat shit out of people.
That too.
Because for the vast majority of both of these issues, she doesn't have her powers until the very, very end. But yeah, this is going to be, it's weird to say because I was like, it's not really technically, I don't know if it's technically a longer read or not, because I guess it is actually, now that I think about it, because this is 9 issues, I believe. That was 8 because we're reading 2, and another 2. So it's technically a bit longer than Historia, but Historia individual chapters are longer than normal, issues of a comic book, whereas these are closer to the normal length of the issue of a comic book issue. But yeah, I'm really excited to just the whole point of this was for me to just have people to talk to comics about, but also to expose you guys to some American comics and some kind of like landmark stories. But we're at the beginning of this, so I don't want to start talking about what's after this too much. But after this, we're gonna get into something that I know you guys are interested in, especially Bree, rather than something I just feel like you guys need to read, which is Absolute Batman, which will be very exciting. And if you want to be a part of that, Christian,
I was saying,
let me know.
Read it so bad. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've been seeing crazy stuff about Absolute Batman like on the internet in my travels. I don't know this thing that I've seen is spoilers, so I'm not going to say it, but it's a design for a character, and I'm like, that's wild.
Yeah. Any last thoughts before we move on?
Seeing this art makes me want to draw like it. Like, oh, I want
Yeah.
to redraw a panel so bad.
How do you even conceptualize art like this?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just the level of craft to get to this point. I'm just imagining that looking at these frames.
yeah, and like the colorist, man, Matthias Lopez. Like,
Yeah.
people don't talk enough. I feel like about the fact that with American comics, Japanese comics, they're black and white, so there's nobody coloring them, and it's just some incredible hatchwork by the manga artist. But with American comics, there's oftentimes a colorist in addition to the person doing the pencils and the inks, who is the person who ultimately brings everything to life. Like things are like you have to, you know, coloring is only as good as the line work at the end of the day. But at the same time, when they work together, you get this beautiful mix
Yeah.
of oranges
Right.
and purples and yellows to make this Supergirl Phoenix fighting a space dragon, which also just the inherent sci-fi-ness of this, it feels like Star Wars almost in a lot of ways, where in this comic they're on a space bus, stopping at rest stops to grab lunch.
It reminded me a lot of what's that comic? Aquaman Andromeda, which I read
Yeah,
a really, really long time ago and really, really liked. I like the kind of Star Warsy sci-fi, like space bus, I guess you could call it, comics a lot, methinks. Those are some of my favorites so far that I've experienced.
yeah. Andromeda was very cosmic horror, so it had that element of sci-fi, but underwater.
Mhm. Mm. Which I think we should do a read of that later on down the line at some point because I really like that comic and I would like an excuse to read it again.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice.
Type that in the comic chat so I can remember it.
Write that down. Write that down. But I feel like someone really studied their color theory because I don't know, you see comics and like you see them just slap the colors on there and like you're trying to like distinguish between what is like the Wonder Woman Historia. Like there were moments where like it was very colorful and it was nice, but like it was kind of hard to look at. You had to like kind of just zoom in. This is very straightforward in its coloring and it all just sits so nicely.
For
Mm.
sure. And then it's like super, super colorful without managing to be like way too oversaturated and like almost candy like, I like to describe like work like
Great
that, where it's like
example.
super, super colorful, but like no substance. It's like candy. This feels more like a sweet treat, but not something that'll give me cavities, like visual cavities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, visual cavities.
Okay.
But yeah, great, great comic. I'm excited to read more. You're moving on to
Sure.
TV and film. Christian, why don't you kick us off? About what you've been watching.
Um, Recently, I just watched the pilot. I'm still in catch up mode. It's a pilot for a series on Netflix called Forever. And it's like YA stuff, but it's heavy and it touches on some deep stuff and just very deep love concepts for like YA high school stuff, but it's cool and it's from what I've seen so far, it's a very well shot show and the drama is real. It also just kind of like at the end of the episode, the male character finally gets the number, but at the end of the episode, his mom finds out that like he forged her signature at school and he loses the phone. So it's like the stakes in the show are kind of they feel massive in the eyes of the characters, but in like my 25-year-old eyes, it's like it's kind of funny that like
Age confirmation.
these little moments, yeah, like those little moments of youth of like your phone getting taken away. That's like the end of the world in the narrative, but in a grand scheme of things, it's like, oh, you was just tripping. So it's moments like that. I thought it made the show very cute, and also it's cool to see like YA based stuff with black characters, and it's just very genuine, and you can tell it's a lot of heart in the series. The first episode was directed by um, Regina Hall.
Oh, really?
Yes, direct or this is my thing. I mix up Regina Hall and Regina King all the
Yeah. When you
time.
said
So it might
Regina
be
Hall, Regina King's face popped in my head, and I was like, no, that's the wrong person.
yeah. So I think Regina King did the she directed the pilot, and the show is created by Maria Brock Ali. But yeah, based on the pilot, I thought it was a very cool episode of television. Um, Other than that, though, yeah, I'm still kind of slowly but surely trying to chip down this movie list that I made on Notion, and it's a lot. It's a lot that I need to catch up on. But yeah, started watching Forever, and that was pretty cool television. Other than that, um, one of my friends texted me about Tron Ares because he knows that Tron Legacy is like one of my favorite films.
God.
And he was like, dang, you waited 15 years for this just for Jared Leto to star in it. And I was like, dang. So in
Every
regards to
piece of
Tron
marketing makes
Ares,
it look worse.
it does.
I feel like
It really is like,
we started off hopeful, like, okay, I'm not a fan of the premise, but let's see where it goes. And the second trailer, like, all right, you know, it's still a little interesting. Like now they have some explanation of why things are happening. It's like, okay, I see the vision. Let's see where this goes. And then they keep showing more stuff in law right now. It's starting to lose me.
yeah. It's starting to lose me because it went from like, oh, this is cool looking sci-fi to that's gonna leave a mark in like a matter of 2 months. And I'm not, yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this movie's gonna go. I don't want it to give like Smurfs, like characters in a different world being in real life. What's gonna happen?
Right.
And that's what
Tron
Ares,
is supposed to be an isekai. A person in the real world
right?
is supposed to get hit by truck goon and they're supposed to go into the goddamn arcade machine.
Nice.
Right? But exactly. It's like it's that's the way it's supposed to be. Like it's not called the time I got reincarnated as a human being. It's the time
Oh,
I got reincarnated as a slime. Like isekai is supposed to be the opposite fantasy realm, not the real world. So I'm interested, and I'm still gonna see it. But yeah, I don't know.
The
I
only
don't, yeah.
the only reverse isekai film that has ever worked was the Barbie movie, and I will stand 10 toes.
This is
Barbie
true.
movie was so
This is
good.
true.
That's true.
For some
Yeah.
reason, and I hope it's good, the He-Man movie is going to be a reverse isekai, where He-Man is going to be leaving Eternia and
Oh,
coming to Earth, and I'm like, why are you? Why? I just want He-Man. Why He-Man?
leave it to
Why He-Man come to Earth?
Mattel to fumble the bag.
Why He-Man go to school?
Show
Yo,
up.
oh,
Why He-Man learn?
Why He-Man
yo.
do taxes? Like,
But we are back in the 2000s. They're gonna make He-Man rap.
Oh, don't do this.
Why
We're
He-Man
back.
rap? Oh my
I
gosh.
think
I thought
they're
you.
gonna
I
make
thought you were gonna
He-Man. There's
say.
gonna.
I thought you were gonna say that they're gonna do Thundercats next.
Oh,
When you said they were back in
they
2000s,
might.
because in early 2000s
I wouldn't be surprised.
they had a He-Man remake and Thundercats remake in terms of cartoons in the
Just
early 2000s.
Thundercats. I actually genuinely liked it.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
But I think
Thundercats, that
two,
poor franchise.
mm. When did the last cartoon series come out? It was on. I remember it was on Cartoon Network. When did that come out?
Thundercats?
I can't hold you. I blocked it out of my memory completely.
Okay.
It's
Think
that
the world.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
I like the older
11.
ones.
I don't think I
but,
want to. Yeah.
2011. But
But
No wonder.
you got anything else, Christian?
yeah, that's it. What? For the most part, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah.
How about you, Brie?
So I recently started watching Peacemaker. I'm on the 4th episode currently. I think I'm gonna watch some more today, actually, or maybe finish it today.
Some good shit.
It is very interesting. Like, I don't even know what to make of that
Have you
show. I
seen-
was like, this dude is on the spectrum in some way.
Have you seen this Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know like what happened before and what's happening now a little bit. And I don't know, my people reading skills is on point because like I peeped a certain somebody out from the very beginning. I was like, he don't act correctly. He's like really off. And then like by the end of it, episode 4, I was like, I knew it. No one can tell me different. I knew he was evil.
Also, if
I
you,
won't go into too many details because I don't know if people were like
yeah,
watching it, but yeah.
if if you or Ira haven't seen it, Superman's on HBO Max now. So check
Ooh,
that out.
Ooh.
I will actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That might be my movie this Sunday. I might be watch it again for the fourth time.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that it, or was there anything else?
Yeah, that's been it so far. Other than that, I've been like watching reality TV in a way, or not necessarily reality TV, but it's called like Hunting Wives, and I have not gotten past like half of the first episode. I feel like I like to need to sit down and just really lock in and watch it because it's a lot, and I'm not even like part way through, and so much stuff is already happening. It's been recommended to me so many times by friends and family, so I have to really sit down and look into it some more.
Reality TV doesn't really interest me other than like seeing clips and stuff. You remember that one
Mhm.
clip? That one clip from it was like some like I think of like maybe Mexican like dating reality show where it was a dude running across the beach and his girlfriend was like having sex with another dude and it was like full on being recorded and it was in the episode and he's just running across the
What?
beach yelling her name. It was so funny. But I only watch
Oh
like
my
see that
goodness.
stuff through proxy in that way. I'd watch like a reality TV
Well, this
show
one isn't like
about
reality,
like
reality. It's based off a book.
oh, okay. I watched like a reality TV show based off of like video game development. Like seeing the reality of video game development in real time would be cool. Or a reality show
Mm.
about like a film set. Like something like that. That would interest me.
I feel like they do have something like that, but it's just not well known because it's not what people want to see, if that makes sense.
I don't think
Probably
there's
have to like dive
examples.
deep for it.
It'd be though
Yeah.
it'd be insane to have a film crew behind the film crew. What about you, Ayer?
Realizing that this probably could have gone in animation, but it's a movie, so it counts to me. I watched Prince of Egypt for the first time ever.
Cinema.
What?
Cinema.
Like
I've never seen it in full.
ever in my life. It's a like really important film, like to my girlfriend's childhood, and I was like, I've never seen it, so she was like, we're watching it right now.
Back when
Okay.
DreamWorks made real
And so we
movies.
watched it. I'm saying that movie is gorgeous. I've never
amazing.
like
To watch
been
it.
so enraptured. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. And then I also watched, kind of on that Egypt theme, The Mummy for the first time.
Oh,
Also,
really?
Really?
That's a good movie right
I
there.
can't. I tell people that like I'm not a film person. I don't have the short like I have a short attention span, so it's really hard for me to sit down and watch film. So if it's a film and it's popular, I probably haven't seen it. But watch The Mummy. I really like The Mummy. I just thought it was silly. It was very silly. I was expecting it to be a little more serious than it was, but I kind of liked that it was silly because it made it fun to
No,
watch.
it's just Indiana
I don't
Jones
think
with
I've
And then
ever
Prince of
brain.
watched
Egypt.
it in full.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying I don't think I ever watched it in full.
Prince of Egypt or Mummy?
Mummy.
Oh.
I never watched The Prince of Egypt.
I've not seen the Prince of Egypt in full. I've actually rewatched The Mummy not too long ago. Maybe sometime last year. That movie's real good. I like The Mummy. It's very much like an Indiana Jones style adventure, but with a mummy.
No, I haven't seen a Mummy in full. Haven't. But it definitely gives off like 1950s like adventure book, the movie.
Yeah, like a pulp
But
novel.
No,
in
yeah, that's
regards
exactly
to
what it was, and I really
yeah,
enjoyed it.
Prince of Egypt, yeah, it's one of them ones. That is I think it's one of the great animated films for sure.
DreamWorks
Even
needs to get back to 2D animation.
they do, they really do, and I think they really just kind of watching it now, whether not even just from an animated perspective, but from a film perspective, I would constantly ask questions to the folks next to me, like, how did they do depth of field with animate? How did they do that? Like a lot of the shots that they do and a lot of the techniques that they use, I just I have nothing but questions because it still makes me have wonder, which for a film that old to still make me wonder how they did certain things, it that's an achievement. Like that's very cool. So
Very much
yeah, it's
so.
yeah.
It is a shame though that the other film that they tried to make, I think like Joseph and the Coat of Many Colors or something like that,
King of
was a
Dreams.
total flop. Yeah, it's so bad,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how do you go from Prince of Egypt to this?
Yeah. I've seen El Dorado. I've not seen Sinbad.
I haven't seen either.
Are
El
you,
Dorado was also
you not
next
seen
on
El
my docket.
Dorado?
Methinks I've not seen El. I keep.
El Dorado.
I said it. If it's a movie, I probably haven't seen it.
I have not seen Sinbad though.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I mean,
I
both
I
Disney.
haven't seen Sinbad. Yeah.
We're all just we have to go all watch Sinbad together now.
Fire.
For me, I realized I was talking about something that I hadn't mentioned yet because it was just in my brain because I had finished my notes earlier. I kept mentioning watching movies on Sunday despite the fact that I hadn't talked about the fact that I'm starting to watch movies on Sunday yet. I've decided to start watching movies Sunday nights. And I started with Hitman on Netflix. And it was a very
Ooh.
solid
Mm.
and enjoyable comedy thriller starring Glenn Powell as Gary Johnson, a college psychology professor who moonlights as a fake hitman for the New Orleans PD to catch would-be murderers. But one day, he meets up with a woman named Madison, played by Adria Arjona, who plays can't remember the name of the character, but the main lady in Andor, who's Andor's partner, and she wants him to kill her abusive husband, and he decides to talk her down instead of getting her, to incriminate herself. But then after they go their separate ways, she starts to text his fake persona Ron to meet up, and then they start a romance where he continues to pretend to be a suave hitman when he's really this nerdy psychology professor, and it's a very good movie. I've been wanting to watch it for a while, but one Sunday I was just bored and I was like, let me watch a movie. I need to sit down and watch more movies, just at home. So yeah, I sat down and watched it. It was good, and I definitely, if you're bored on a Sunday night like myself, I find myself sometimes. It's a great way to pass the time. Go watch Hitman. Last Sunday, because this was 2 Sundays ago, I watched Predators. So I've been talking to Christian about it. I've been going through the Alien and Predator movies. The very first Alien movie is my favorite movie of all time. I watched the last Alien movie I watched was 3. I watched the first Predator and the second Predator, like back to back almost, not the same day, but like one day after the other. And then Predators is the third Predator movie. Came out in 2010, which is like 2 decades after the second one, which came out in the 80s. And it's surprisingly good because I've only heard bad things. Christian, I mean, I'm sure you've probably heard the same, that like after the first Predator, the Predator movies just aren't good. That's a lie.
Yes.
Predators is good. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. The premise is that the predators take dangerous predators from other planets and place them into an enclosure on what seems like it might be a moon of Jupiter, and then predators hunt them. And the humans that they chose were all soldiers, criminals, and murderers of some sort, played by a star-studded cast of Adrian Brody, Mahershala Ali, Walton Goggins, Topher Grace, Danny Trejo, and more. Mahershala Ali threw me off because I'd never seen Mahershala Ali as jacked as he is in this movie. He's huge in this movie. I almost didn't recognize him. I was like, that person looks familiar. Who is that? And I saw his face. I was like, that's a Mahershala Ali. Why is his arm so big? I've never seen this man so big in my entire life. Look up Mahershala Ali in Predators. He's gigantic. Walton Goggins' character is, you don't. That's how. Look up Mahershala Ali and then just look at his real name and try to pronounce it. Because it's not Mahershala. It's much longer than that.
It looks like Mahershala.
No, that's his stage name. His real name is Mahershala is a shortened version of his actual first name. It's way longer than that. It's like double the size. Because in the credits of this movie was back when he was still going by his full name. So his full name was in the credits, and I was like, who the fuck is that? Oh, that's Mahershala Ali. But yeah, this movie's good.
Oh,
Walton Goggins' characters in this is very problematic. He plays a
I
prisoner
forgot this movie.
who makes some crazy jokes, and apparently
It's-
a tradition. That's the word. Apparently it's a tradition to use the F slur in these movies because
ooh.
they do it in the first movie,
Mm.
and then Walton Goggins does it in this one, and it was crazy. He says a bunch of other way worse stuff though. To that's the fact that that's not the worst thing his character says in this movie is saying something.
What do you mean?
You got to watch the movie. I'm not telling you what he says. You have to watch the movie. It's at least something that I could say, but I would have to still censor. But like, it's crazy. But keeping on that train, I'm still watching Alien Earth it's on a Disney Plus and Hulu. And there's one episode left, and it's shaping up to be a good one. This show takes place after Prometheus, but before all the other Alien movies, and it greatly expands on the lore of the like cyberpunk future that the Alien franchise takes place in, where 5 corporations rule the galaxies, and in the show there are more aliens than just the xenomorphs. And on top of all of that, the main corporation that we follow, called Prodigy, is in a race to invent immortality with the other corporations. And Prodigy's solution was putting human brains into synthetic bodies. And they started with sick children, one of which is one of the like lead characters. And it's very fascinating and a very thrilling show. And it requires zero knowledge of the past movies in the Alien franchise. But I'm always going to suggest that you watch Alien and Aliens and Romulus. But Alien especially, the first one, like I said, favorite movie all time, so good. And last but certainly not least, Peacemaker season 2. Still watching that.
Yeah.
Airs every Thursday, and it's so good. John Cena is so good as Peacemaker. He was born to play this role. Second best wrestler turned actor after Batista, and way better than The Rock. The Rock just refuses to be silly.
The Rock really fell off
When
for
he
me.
For
when he
real.
used to let himself be silly was when he was at his peak. John Cena still lets himself be silly. He still has whimsy in his heart. The Rock has lost whimsy. Rock needs to become more whimsical. But moving on to some reviews. I have just one review. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that for after this. I'm gonna do trailers and news first. I forgot to take extensive notes on this, but there was a trailer, or more accurately, a teaser for The Witcher season 4, and I just want to discuss the fact that the actor playing Geralt's different. It's Liam Hemsworth, brother of Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, rather than Superman. What's his name? Christian, what's his name? Henry Cavill.
Name of who again? Sorry. Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Instead of Henry Cavill, who played him before, is being played by Liam Hemsworth, and it's weird. I'm gonna still watch it, and I hope it's still good. Last season was very disappointing. I've been reading the books. I need to get back to them eventually after I finish reading. Goddamn, the Poppy War. But last season was very disappointing. They change a lot of stuff from the books, which you're adapting. You're gonna make changes, but they're making very significant changes that like lessen the impact of the story. Because their thought process is, I believe that like showrunners are Polish, which the stories, the Witcher series is made by, written by a Polish guy, and the studio that makes the game is also Polish. So very inherently Polish story that is heavily inspired by real life Polish politics, and it has a lot of very complicated political stuff in it. And their thought process, the showrunners and writers, are that, oh, that's too complicated for Western audiences. And it's like, my brother in Christ, the most popular show on the face of the planet Earth for 10 years was Game of Thrones. That's such a poor excuse. And I it's not a bad show by any means. I'm enjoying it. The last season wasn't as good as the first two, but I'm still enjoying it. And I want to hope that, despite the changes that are happening, that it still goes on strong. But also there was a trailer for Wake Up Deadman, the third film in the Knives Out murder mystery series.
So
Um,
excited.
yeah.
So excited.
The film follows renowned detective Benoit Blanc as he takes on a new case that brings him into the orbit of a charismatic priest, Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, and his devout congregation. When a mysterious death occurs, Blanc must navigate a complex web of secrets and simmering tensions within the community to uncover the truth. It stars Daniel Craig, who reprises his role as Master Detective Benoit Blanc, and the ensemble cast also includes Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Rayner, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, Kaylee Spaney, Daryl McCormick, and Thomas Hayden Church. Which I kept going, why do I know the name Thomas Hayden Church? He was the Sandman in Spider-Man 3.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, this I'm excited. I like the first two. Just unpopular opinion. I like Glass Onion more than Knives Out. That's just me though. I know most people like Knives Out more. I'm not saying Knives Out is bad, great movie. I just like Glass Onion a little bit more.
yeah, I
Have you
think I have
guys
to agree.
seen the other two? I assume you have, Bree, based on how you responded.
I haven't.
I,
I haven't seen the other two. Yeah.
I'm
I
surprised.
saw like the first 10 minutes of Knives Out, and that's it.
That's that not surprising. But yeah, they're good movies, and they're both on Netflix, I believe. At the very least, the second one is.
Yes, please watch.
They're good movies. Good old murder mysteries. Hopefully, you haven't had the mystery spoiled for you. I
I
think
have not, surprisingly.
I did before I watched it, but I still enjoyed it. But I watched Glass Onion without knowing the mystery, even though I'm not. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. But you should watch it. It's a good movie. And yeah, I'm excited for this one. Netflix snatched them up, and now these movies are gonna be Netflix. But this one also gonna be released in theaters, which is great. So I'm probably gonna watch it in theaters when it comes out. But last but not
Dang,
least,
I want the
oh, sorry,
theater
go ahead.
experience.
Yeah,
Oh, I was gonna say I like the theater experience. Like I've been watching a lot of movies and stuff at home, but I miss going to the theaters. It's just really expensive nowadays.
yeah, it is. I go as often as I can, but
Yeah.
it is expensive.
Yeah.
But last but not least, a very quick spoiler-free review of Weapons. I saw Weapons last night. I wasn't planning on.
Ooh.
I was.
you.
I wasn't planning on seeing Weapons. That movie, I didn't care about it, and then I kept hearing good things. I was like, man, I should probably see Weapons. And then I had a date lined up, and I was like, we should go see Weapons because they like horror movies. And I was like, let's go see Weapons. So we saw Weapons.
Hey, that's a crazy suggestion for a
We
date.
should,
Let's
No,
go see.
yeah, let's get to know each other. Hey.
they like
Let's see.
horror movies, and it was funny because they said that they like horror movies, so they don't usually get that scared. But Weapons was the first time they got genuinely scared in a horror movie in a long time. They ended up grabbing my hand. I was like, oh my god,
wow.
are you okay? Towards the end of the movie, it got real creepy. But I watched Weapons. It was good. Christian, I now fully trust this man with that Resident Evil movie. For those of you who don't know,
Okay.
Zach Krieger, director of Weapons and Barbarian, is set to direct an RE movie. And I was trepidatious because they're deciding to tell an original story set in the universe. And everyone is praising that because there's been, proven successes with that in shows like Fallout and Cyberpunk Edge Runners. But I don't think that works for every game. For some games, the lead characters and their story are too iconic and integral to what makes that franchise what it is to just tell an original story within that universe. And to me, RE is one of those games. And I just want an adaptation of RE1, and that's why I was upset. I was like, just do RE1. Despite that, I do think that you can do that with the Resident Evil universe. I think that you can tell an original story with the Resident Evil via film, and I think that Krieger would do a good job based on his previous work and the fact that he is a genuine fan of the games. So I have hope. I probably should add a little synopsis of the movie itself, but let me just find one and read that to you guys if you know nothing about Weapons. Very, very interesting.
Maybe I have to watch it now.
The trailers,
I love horror movies.
like, I knew going into the movie because I saw Barbarian, is that the trailers will not. You can't be spoiled. You can't be spoiled on this movie unless you can't be spoiled from the trailers. You can obviously be spoiled from people, because his movies are never about what you think they are based on the trailers. When all but one child from the same classroom mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. it's good. There's a lot of
And that's
metaphors
it. That's
and
all you get.
and allegories that I picked up on right before they made it apparent. Like literally a couple minutes before they made the allegory that they were making clear as day. I was like, oh, it's that, and then they showed it. And I was like, ha. It's a great movie. I definitely suggest checking it out. It's out of theaters now, so you have to wait for it to hit digital, but it'll be worth it. But moving on to the last stretch of this long episode of the podcast. Actually, so far it hasn't been that long, but that's about to change. Because we're getting into the video game section, and there's a lot of shit to talk about. But of course, we're going to start off
There's a lot of games, man.
Yeah.
with what games
Yeah.
you guys have been playing. I want to start with you, Christian. Actually, no, I will not, because I know what you've been playing, and we're gonna have a long conversation about that. So I'm gonna actually save you for last.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're actually
Yeah.
gonna go after me, which I don't usually do that. Bree, you go first.
Oh, I haven't been playing much. I've been playing a lot of Peak, and then I'm trying to get into like more like co-op or like online games with people. So maybe I'll get into like the Space Dwarf game, and also shoot, what is it called? It's free to download. It's a shooter. Eh.
I gotta force you to play more Marvel Rivals with me.
Yeah. I have to play more of that too. But it's like it's not Halo. Destiny? I think it's Destiny.
Destiny's not free though.
Hmm.
But it's not. What is the free one?
Oh, wait, is
my
it
God.
Splitgate?
It's something. I forget, but like I've been told to like get it so we can all play.
You said it's not Halo.
Whatever.
But Halo does have
It's not.
a free one.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, Halo Infinite has a free multiplayer.
Hmm.
I haven't played in a minute.
But there is another game.
Is it
Huh?
goddamn
Warframe. Yes.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
That's not what I was
Okay.
gonna say. I was gonna say Apex.
No, it was Warframe. Oh my gosh. I don't know why that was slipping from my mind. But yeah, downloading Warframe I'm thinking about. But I also need just more games in general. I have like Yakuza Pirate on my computer, but I haven't been playing it.
Yakuza Pirate in Hawaii? No, Pirate Yakuza
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's called Like a
It's good.
Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, the longest name known to man.
Yes.
Yeah. It is good though. I'm hoping for like their new game that's supposed to come out eventually. I just been seeing like trailers and whatnot, but
Yeah, the one
that's
with
a
the
talk for a
it
different
has a
time.
really cool name.
It's like something heaven.
Made in Heaven, I think. No?
Yeah, Made in Heaven.
Yeah, I always think it's wrong when I say it because that is a meme from JoJo. Because that is a name of one of the stands, and he says it in English, but in the Japanese accent. It's really funny. But how about you, Aya?
Okay, I got a couple things. So I've been playing a lot of The Binding of Isaac lately, much to my detriment. I remember like I go through these periods with Isaac. Oh man, I haven't played Isaac in a while. Let's play it. And then I remember why I haven't played Isaac in a while. This game is like the worst game ever, but I keep playing it. It's like an abusive relationship. I keep coming back and I can't stop myself. It's ridiculous.
Now you guys
So I've
Stockholm
been playing a
syndrome
lot of
with the
Isaac.
game.
Yeah, like literally. So that's been I won't call it fun, but it's been an experience. Still playing Patapon 2, but it's been kind of slow going since I haven't really felt like playing it. I've been playing through chapters 3 and 4 of Deltarune again for a friend of mine, and that was really annoying. And I started Bayonetta 3, and that it like okay. Like Bayo 1 peak. Bayo 2 is a little shaky. It's got its problems. Bayonetta 3 is the worst hack and slash game I have ever played in my life.
Oh wow.
In all my 23 years of living, I have never, and I mean never, played a game so terrible in my life.
That's when Platinum was falling
Okay.
apart, so I'm not surprised.
And I'm not even past the prologue. This is first chapter, and it is terrible. And like, not terrible in the way of like it's frustrating, but terrible in the way of it's like it's not well designed at all. There's a system in it where you can summon your like demon companions at any time to fight, and they have like a meter that runs out, but they do so much damage. I've been calling it the instant win button. So it's like, man, I don't feel like fighting these enemies. Time for the instant win button, and I win every time. It's so dumb. And like the story, makes no sense so far. Like, I really don't understand it, and I'm not like locked to it. The only good thing about that game is Bayonetta's design, and even then, it's on thin. Because while Bayo is super super well designed, I really like her. A lot of people don't. I think it's
Yeah, I like
clever.
her designing that.
John, I will never forgive Platinum for what they did to John and the way they designed her in this game. It is awful. And like when she showed up on screen, I'm like, John would not wear that. I don't know who that is, but that's someone wearing the skin of
Oh
John.
gosh, she looks
because
like
she would not wear the fit
she looks
they
like
got her in.
she looks like a One Piece character.
I'm saying, and I'm like, John's whole thing is she's supposed to be like the one with the more sensible fashion. Like Bayonetta is the one that wears the very elaborate, very silly costume. John is like high fashion, very like, highfalutin. And then they got her in the One Piece fit. I'm like, what is this?
She
No
literally
wonder they
looks
didn't
like
show her in the trailer.
she literally looks like Big Mama from One Piece.
Whoa.
I know.
Hold
It's
on.
so bleak. And
I have to show you guys.
Mhm.
Keep talking. I'm just gonna send some pictures.
I'm hoping that it gets better before it gets worse, but I really have very low expectations for the video game. I haven't even really wanted to play it, but I'm playing. I paid money for it, so got to get my money's worth in whatever way possible. And also, it's really glitchy. Like a lot of the controls aren't very responsive, but when they do respond, it's like, nah, that's not what I pressed. Totally not what I pressed. I don't know where you're cooking, Platinum. It wasn't. They burnt the house down. Diabolical. But that's it for me.
That does look like a One Piece character.
It
Oh
does.
my goodness. Identical.
Like, straight
Yeah.
up Big Mama. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I finished Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. And last episode I gave my spoiler-free review because I don't want to spoil it for anybody because I want people to play it, without knowing the story. It's a good game. It's a great story. Some people consider it the best in the franchise. It's not my favorite, but I'm starting to get back into my only God knows what number playthrough of my actual favorite Metal Gear game, Metal Gear Solid 4 on my PS3. But I also started a New Game Plus, a second playthrough of Delta, where my first playthrough I decided to do a no kill run, and I did it. I successfully did it, killed no one. And it was difficult because I had to use tranq guns, and then I got to a part in the game where I was like, okay, I can't get by these people without taking them out, but I don't have a suppressor. So if I try to shoot, they'll hear the gun, they'll see me, they'll shoot me. So I just had to go, fuck it, and run in there and just punch everybody and then run to the next area. It was a very fun challenge going through the game, trying not to kill anybody at all. But after finishing it, I've decided to hop back into my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 4, and it's been a good time. I am not on the precipice, I am at the beginning of what is one of the very longest cutscenes known to video games. Because Metal Gear Solid 4 has several cutscenes that break the record for longest cutscene of all time. And I'm on the verge of one of them that's 30 minutes long. And I literally was like, I'm not going to watch the cutscene because I'm literally going to go, and I dead ass, I'm not joking, I bought popcorn so that I could eat it while I watch this cutscene because it's so damn long. Oh, it's a good cutscene though. Cutscene is great, but it's a real long cutscene. It's a goddamn, it's an episode,
30 minutes,
episode of television.
It's crazy.
But yeah, that's where I left
Can you
off.
skip?
Cutscenes, what were you saying?
Can you skip?
Cutscenes are so long, they ask you to save the game in the middle of the cutscene.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Okay.
curious.
But I also finally finished Doom: The Dark Ages, the third Doom game in the recent trilogy, because that's how numbers work. And the game got frustratingly hard towards the end, but in a fun way. And the ending was awesome. There's this moment where Doom Guy dies and then rises from the dead, and you're playing as zombie Doom Guy, and it's awesome. And then he fights his way out of hell. He hijacks the Charon's boat. He kills Charon, hijacks his boat. Like Charon holds out his hand to ask for a coin, and he shoots him in the face. And then he
What?
hijacks his boat and then drives the boat into the gates of hell and then escapes. Dude,
That's
What the?
it's
crazy.
That's
so
nuts.
wild. Play,
But very in
play.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed this game. I would easily give it a 3.5 out of 5, which may sound low, but it's out of 5. I do out of 5 because when I did out of 10, I never went below 5. So I was like, I should just do out of 5. Because if I ever got anywhere near 5, that just means it was dog shit. So I was like, let me do out of 5. But this is my least favorite of the last 3 Doom games. With that said, it's still a really good game. The 3 major things holding it back for me are level design, weapon utilization, and a lack of glory kills. They almost completely removed glory kills, which were the sick kill animations that played after you attacked a stunned enemy. And they did it in an attempt to make combat faster, but it never really slowed down combat before. And I would have preferred if it was an option that you could turn on and off instead of just completely removing it. You also aren't encouraged to use your full arsenal of weapons like in Doom Eternal. In Eternal, each enemy could be hard countered by utilizing a specific weapon to target a weak point. But they removed that, so you can play the whole game using just your 2 favorite guns and never touch the rest of the arsenal. And I don't like playing like that. I like being forced to use every single tool in my arsenal. And lastly, but most importantly, the levels are just too goddamn big. User Salty on Reddit described my gripes with the level design best. They said, "I don't mind not having fast travel, but what is really honestly the most grating thing is that the huge open levels often have 70% of secrets locked behind a secret gate key, which itself is hidden as a secret somewhere, so you end up exploring the map and not finding it. And then when you do, you have to do a whole lap around the whole map again, just opening gates and picking up picking up things. It kills the entire pace of the level and feels like a borderline artificial filler, which this game really doesn't need at all. It made the game longer. It's why it took me so long to beat it. This game came out months ago. And I tend to finish games relatively quickly, but not this one because I was just getting tired of running around the levels. They don't mark the locked gates on your map once you find them, so you have to go searching for them again, and it's annoying.
Right.
I dreaded entering the bigger, more open levels because I knew that my completionist brain wouldn't let me leave without collecting everything. But the process was going to be tedious as hell. No pun intended. It's still a good game, but it's the weakest in the bunch for me. And I hope that the next game pulls the best elements from each to make the perfect Doom game. But the last thing I have is the thing that you're playing, Christian. So let's get into it. Skate is out in early access, but you've been playing it longer with the what did they call it, the playtest, and we talked about that.
Playtest.
We talked
Yeah.
about that last episode, but now it's out in full. Have you been playing it more since it's come out in full?
I have. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That's like the main thing I've been playing for the past few days. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um.
finally playing it myself firsthand, I get a lot of the complaints. And we talked about this very briefly off podcast, but it does feel like some of the identity from the past games has been lost with this new art direction. It feels generic and just, in some places, plain looks bad. Like the hair, for example. The beard options look like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
So I went for stubble instead of a full beard because the beards just look bad, and the black hair options are non-existent. There's 2 for guys and maybe 1 for women. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, it's nuts.
Also,
They made FromSoft look good.
Yeah.
That's how crazy the hair choices were.
100%.
Yeah.
Good old black people don't exist from soft.
Nice.
Right.
But yeah, it's the character creation is not great. Also, the narrators that guide you on this journey are played by real skaters. But they're being forced to read corny lines that real skaters do not say, and I'm certain these people don't say. And as a result,
like-
they're already flat performances, which the performances were always going to be flat. They're not, they're not actors. But if you wrote the
Skate, yeah,
dialogue to match their real life personalities, it would at least have some life to it.
right. And that choice was very. That was a choice because why are we getting like Sean Malto and like actual skaters, but you're getting them to voice fictional characters? Like
Exactly.
it didn't really make sense. Like I would have preferred it to be like just them playing
If you're
themselves
going to
or
do
like
that, hire an
how
actor.
right. Or it gets the same folks, like get the actor that voiced Shingo before. But yeah, even in like the old skate games, like I feel like they got it right by having the pros playing themselves. Even like Atiba Jefferson, like known skate photographer, he plays himself in the skate games. So yeah, honestly, the dialogue is just not it. It's just that was fresh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sick. It's just very much so like very corporate sounding and very just like this is what they're into, right? This sounds cool. This is hip. Yeah, just the narration aspect is not the greatest. It's not the greatest at all.
Yeah.
Um,
You said it when we were talking before. The aesthetic it's super sterile and corporate, and as a result, it feels like you're trapped in the Matrix, especially since they refuse to reference anything from the real world.
right.
So you feel like you're just stuck in a simulation. And the story of the game is that a corporation bought a city to turn it into a skate utopia, which I feel like is the antithesis of skate culture, which is meant to be very punk rock, and to be punk rock is inherently counterculture. And skating in a corporate owned city is the least punk rock thing you could do. the
Right.
the presentation of this game is literally that Steve Buscemi meme of him dressed as a skater saying, "What do you do, fellow kids?"
Yeah, that is exactly what it is. Um, even in regard to the colors, like the colors are quite flat and there's nothing in the art style that is distinct or implies that this is a skate game. Like if you don't have your character pull out their skateboard and they're just walking in the open world, you would think, oh, it's just a tech demo for something, or this is just a Unreal Engine demo. But it just feels quite bland. Um, and I feel like it's as you were saying the other day, it's not complete. It's definitely not complete. And I feel like they just need to do a overhaul in regards to the art style. And I feel like there's a way for them to keep the art style distinct, but still make it easy to edit and add new things and new content.
Like you
Um,
mentioned,
like I think that yeah,
Need for Speed Unbound, which was a Need for Speed game that took a bit of a cue from Spider Verse and added like 2D effects and textures on top of things. And something like that in a skate game could be really fun with a bunch of
yeah,
yeah, skate inspired graffiti and things like that, like and those type of effects happening while you're skateboarding. But also having sprays, like a lot of online games have sprays where you can just walk up to a wall and just like spray paint something on it. And that is, I feel like skating culture and graffiti culture go hand in hand, and that would be a cool thing to incorporate.
right. Especially with the social aspect. But I feel like, and I'm kind of giving them some grace with it being early access, but not that much. Um, yeah, I feel like a lot of the feature set is pretty underbaked, and that the UI, font choices is like they took random vector shapes and put some sort of grain or dirt on it. It was like this is skate. Yeah, yeah, just it doesn't have that distinctive a design language. And also, I feel like maybe they wanted to compete with like the other extreme sports games that are doing well, like Riders Republic and stuff like that, to try to make it fit in that demographic lane. But I think in doing that, they went way too far to the point that it just is not But the gameplay saves it, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing that makes it worth coming back to.
Before we go deep into the gameplay, though, I did want to say that
Yeah.
long gone are the days of Coach Frank, played by Jason Lee, who you guys would probably know him best as Dave from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh,
And the problem is they had the perfect person to replace Coach Frank and Tim Robinson, who played a character in a trailer for this game a while back. Tim Robinson, famous actor comedian, he in that trailer he played uh, an employee of the fictional corporation that runs San Amsterdam, the city that the game takes place in, called M Corp. Um, in that trailer, he's desperately trying to convince the public that nothing shady is going on at the company or in the city, and that gives me a small bit of hope that they may actually be going for a satirical and comedic story about evil corporations, and that would actually fit Skate a lot better. But
Right.
they haven't done much to really point towards that. And I
Right.
hope that they're listening to the feedback, which I don't know if you've seen it. But there's a survey. You do the survey, brother. I did the
I
survey
will.
and I was complaining about I said black hair more times than I've said in my life. I'm like, give us black hair options.
Yeah.
And we also need way more real brands, which is a question that they had on that as well. Like, what real brands do we want to have? And I was like, give me goddamn Nike. Why is Nike not here?
Mhm.
But yeah, but like you said, despite all that, the gameplay's tight. It's good, and it's exactly what I want
Yeah.
from new skate games. Some certain moves are missing, like you can't do dark grinds where you flip the skateboard upside down. I like doing those a lot. That's
Mhm.
not there yet. But what is there is solid. It's good. The foundation's strong
Yeah.
in terms of gameplay.
Right. And as far as gameplay goes, or in regards to the open world, the mechanics are there. Like just mechanically, gameplay wise, the movement system it's it's a master class, honestly, in regards to like extreme sports games. They nailed it. They took what they did with 2 and 3 and did it better. I mean, I would hope it came out like 15 years ago, but even with that, the animation, the feedback, um, the fact that there's more settings. So if you cater towards a more arcade style, you can make your character play that way. But if you want something more grounded and realistic, you can change different settings. That I've been more in the realistic lane of like putting all of my settings down, especially as a fan of the game session. I've been trying to do more realistic lines and stuff, even though I still end up jumping off, like running on walls and doing backflips and stuff. I still love doing stuff like that, but there's a lot of ways to play, which I do dig. Um, yeah, it mastered what the other ones got right, which is that freedom and that ability to skate in your own way. I feel like they did it very well here. Um, it's just all up into the mission design and how they incorporate the mechanics into everything else. I feel like that's what's going to be the kicker. It's like how you can have a video game engine like the Fox engine, which is one of the best engines ever made, but then you can make Metal Gear survive. It's like the mechanics are there for something great. I think it just ultimately comes down to whether the missions and the world design and if the community engagement is good,
Yeah.
especially with it being live service.
This being early access means there's room for them to fix a lot of the problems we're having. The core gameplay's solid, and now everything else just needs to rise up the match. But Brie, Ayera, does Skate interest you guys in it at all? I know we just talked a lot of shit about it, but it is a fun game. Just from
It is good.
from the foundation, it's fun to just skate around.
Yeah.
the fact that it has Mario 64 movement as the fastest movement is really funny to me, based on what I've seen on Twitter. And like, I'm interested, but I'm definitely gonna wait for the full game to come out. Based on what you guys said about the early access, I don't want to waste my time.
Mm.
I mean,
I
it's
used to
free.
play a skateboarding game years ago with my cousin, so I liked it even though it was kind of silly. So I did not know they were making like a skate universe kind of game. Like what was it? Something Republic.
Riders Republic.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
about that game, and I actually kind of want to play it. Seems really neat. So I didn't know there was like a skate similar to it or trying to be similar to that.
Yeah, this
I
is
don't know.
basically Skate 4, but it's not called Skate 4.
Just skate.
Just skate
Yeah.
with a period. But yeah, I'm excited to see it get better. Moving on to some trailers and news. There's a lot. We're gonna start with Dispatch. We got a release date trailer.
Woo!
And October has just become even more packed. For me, since this releases on PC and PS5 on October 22nd, 20 days after Ghost of Yote.
Oh wow.
And 1 day after Ninja Gaiden 4. How could they do this to me? How could they do that? Don't they know they should be scheduling their game releases around me, Deshaun Fortune? It's weird that this won't be on Xbox Day 1. I wonder what that's about. But for those who haven't heard about this game, it is a superhero workplace comedy where choices matter. Manage a dysfunctional team of misfit heroes and strategize who to send to emergencies around the city, all while balancing office politics, personal relationships, and your own quest to become a hero. It is made by Ad Hoc Studio, a team made up of former Telltale devs, the studio behind the Walking Dead games and Wolf Among Us. And this team previously was helping Telltale Games make the Wolf Among Us Season 2, but they had a falling out, and maybe that game's not happening anymore. I hope it is, but
What was
some weird
so
things
bad?
happening. But yeah, Dispatch has a star-studded cast of celebrity actors, such as Aaron Paul as the lead character, but also some famous voice actors like Laura Bailey and some internet celebrities like Moist Critical and Jacksepticeye.
Oh,
Yeah, very diverse cast of very different levels of celebrity. I played the demo, which is still available on PC, by the way, a few months ago, and I was surprised at the type of game it was, because it's like, yeah, it's a Telltale style game. Yes, but it is also a strategy game, where you actually direct the superheroes on what crimes to stop based on their stats and skills and personality, and it's fun. It's a good time. And it's going to be released episodically over the course of 4 weeks, with 2 episodes dropping each week starting October 22nd, according to Ryan McCaffrey at IGN. And let me check out specifically the release schedule, because I have it in my notes. Yeah, so October 22nd, first 2 episodes. 29th, 3-4, November 5th, 5-6, and then a day before my birthday, November 12th, my cousin's birthday, 7 and 8. So yeah, I'm excited for this. This should be fun. And a lot of games don't do this anymore. They don't do the episodic release schedule because it's failed a lot in the past. Hopefully, if they're deciding to do this thing that has notoriously been known to fail in the past, it's because they know it's going to work, or like these games are actually going to come out when they're supposed to, these episodes. And it'll be fun to have a game that comes out episodically like this, and you could have discussions with people about the different decisions that you made and the way you tackle certain situations, like you would a TV show. When you're just watching a TV show and having discussions surrounding an episode of a TV show before the next episode comes out. That'll be really cool. But yeah, how do you feel about this, Bree, as someone who likes The Wolf Among Us, and this is, people who were a part of that team?
Oh, The Wolf Among Us, you don't understand. I've been waiting for this new game for years. And every time I hear something about it, they're like, oh yeah, they're working on it. Actually, no, the studio's gone. Oh wait, no, they're back. They're gonna work on it, and then they just cancel it. But this, I feel like I genuinely want to play this. I love like episodic games. I just haven't really sat and got into them like I should.
It's only $30.
Really? Ooh.
And
I want
more
things
season.
to talk to people about.
Yeah, if you play this, we'll definitely be talking about it.
Yes.
I also discovered
this PC to work.
that Ad Hoc is making a game based around one of Critical Role's D&D campaigns.
Oh.
And I'm very interested to see what that is. But yeah, this is exciting. I'm very, very excited to see where this goes.
We still need to play D&D.
We do.
We need to have a session at some point.
Did you?
I
did you ever get the book?
we can make some.
Yeah, I hear it.
What, you do?
Yeah, I hear
oh my
DMs.
gosh.
I hear DMs. I still need to finish the the player's handbook. But did you ever get a copy of the player's handbook, Bree?
I did not. I did not get it from my brother. He said he has it, and I haven't gone over there to get it yet.
Look, we could have an episode of the podcast that's D&D.
That would be fun, I think.
Yeah, that could
I
be
could
cool.
totally cook up a one shot for us.
That would be fun. But yeah, next we have Marvel Rivals Season 4, Heart of the Dragon. The season has already started, and I've been playing it. But, let's talk about the launch trailer first. We got another beautifully animated trailer announcing the season's characters and theme. This season is built around a martial arts tournament between the 8 capital cities of heaven, which Kunlun, home of the Iron Fist, is one of. Playing with the themes of heaven, the characters for this season are Angela and Daredevil. Daredevil in this universe serves the secret 8th city of heaven, which is a brutal hellish realm that serves as a prison for the evils of the seven capital cities. Daredevil is the champion of Dizang, a Marvel Rivals original character based on a character from Chinese myth, who was a monk that achieved enlightenment, but decided to willingly enter hell to rehabilitate and shepherd the suffering, and took a vow to not leave until hell was emptied. The Rivals devs were inspired by the end of Chip Zdarsky's run on Daredevil from a few years back, which ends with Daredevil going to literal hell to save his friends and choosing to stay behind. And this is a great twist on the character, and very much playing into his Catholic guilt, and the fact that literally in the comics he decided to save his friends from hell and then stay in hell, and taking this Chinese mythological character who stays in hell to rehabilitate people and isn't going to ever leave hell because people are always going to go to hell, so hell's never going to be empty. Yeah, this is just I think a really fun take on the character, but he's not out yet. Angela is. Angela is Thor and Loki's sister, daughter of Odin and Freya, who was kidnapped by the Angels of Heaven. Heaven spelled Heven, which in the Marvel Universe is the 10th Norse realm. And they were banished by Odin after he thought that they killed Angela, whose original name was Aldrich. But of course the angels faked her death and raised her as their own. Also, contrary to what the movies say, in the comics, just like in actual Norse mythology, Hela is Loki's daughter, not sister. And in the games, they were going off of the movie version of it, but they changed it now that Angela's in the game. And any line that Loki had calling his daughter sister has been changed, and he no longer calls her sister. So it seems like in Marvel Rivals canon, she is his daughter. But I digress. I discovered Angela a year or two ago and became obsessed with her, and she was also leaked a while back, so I have been eagerly awaiting her arrival, and it's finally here as of September 12th. And she's fun. Wait. I thought it was October for a second. I was like, September 12th, that was so long ago. No, it was only a week ago. Yeah, she's real fun. She's a flying melee tank who excels at displacement. She has a spear, and she could skewer people on the spear and push them away from their allies, and that's really fun to do. It can be a little hard to aim, and she's a hard character to play, but once you figure her out, she's really fun. But you guys should play Marvel Rivals. We should all play Marvel Rivals. Let's play Marvel Rivals. I'm always trying to get people to play Marvel Rivals. I play Marvel Rivals all the time. It's also on PS4 now.
Totally down.
Which I know doesn't matter because you have a PC.
It probably runs like shit though.
Yeah. Yeah. You two have PCs, and me and Christian have PS5, so so you shouldn't play it on PS4. But it's on there if you want to. Yeah, Marvel Rivals is great. I'm excited for Daredevil. I'm so excited. He was at the top of my list of characters that I want in the game, up there with Cyclops is number 1, and then it's Quicksilver, and then it was Daredevil, and now we got Daredevil. Now I need Cyclops, Quicksilver. Give me Cyclops, Quicksilver. But next we have 007 First Light. PlayStation hosted a state of play dedicated to 007 First Light, and it was an interesting experience because it started off very slow and very boring, with James driving a car at the speed limit as he escorts fellow agents to a party disguised as their driver. And then he proceeds to disobey orders, and he's supposed to be standing watch at the parking lot. But then he goes off to investigate a suspicious-looking bellhop In the process of watching him figure out how to infiltrate the party, and continue pursuing the bellhop was so boring to watch. But hopefully, stuff like that is always more fun to play than it is to look at. It's just like, why choose to show this? This is boring. Like, I get that this is going to be part of the game and I'm going to have fun while doing it, but watching it sucks. Then they jump. Thankfully, they jump to a car chase scene, which is like, okay, thank you. Car chases, a big part of James Bond. Cool. It went on for way too long. I was like, okay, cool. And then it kept going. I was like, all right, stop the car chase. All right, I'm done. Move on. And then it finally ended. And then this is when it finally started to get good. He gets out the car. Well, before I say that, actually, I should say the beginning I was concerned because it felt like this is a slam dunk. Hitman, this is the Hitman devs, IO Interactive. Hitman is heavily inspired by James Bond. So when we heard they were making a James Bond game, I was like, no shit, yeah, that's awesome. This is gonna be cool. And then this started, and I was like, maybe not. Maybe it won't be cool. But they pulled it back. They pulled it back. I was concerned, but they pulled it back. Once they got to the action and the shooting, it was cool. And then there was this Uncharted 3 style airplane set piece that was really cool. And Simon Carty from IGN describes the game as the Hitman and Uncharted hybrid I wanted it to be. And that's also what I'm hoping. But before I start reading some very specific details from the PlayStation blog, have you guys seen anything about this? Any trailers? If not, feel free to watch some on mute in the background while we discuss it. But yeah, what are your thoughts if you've seen anything?
I have seen the state of play. Some parts I did fast forward through for the reasons you mentioned. I thought that them approaching the building and him navigating the building, and it did kind of drag a bit. Graphically, I think it looks great. I think that IO is very good at just like making levels or set pieces feel big. Like it feels massive. Like even thinking about Hitman 2 with like the racing level, like the racetrack level, just they're very great at making detailed environments. And I feel like that type of just open game design aspect, I thought that looked very cool in the trailer. Because with them doing it third person, with it being a younger James Bond, I was curious on how they would do third person action or how it would look. But I like the fact that they're still keeping the espionage aspect there, in that it looks like a spy game. And also in regards to the state of play, like little side thing, I'm cool with the fact that it was a bit choppy. I don't mind it at all.
It made it feel
Because there
real.
was some frame drop. Yeah, it made it feel like it was a real gameplay. So I like that type of transparency, and I feel IO has a pretty decent. They have a good track record, so I feel like in regards to frame rate and stuff, it will be solid when it drops. But yeah, I thought that the actual like sequence of action at the end and the gunplay looked pretty good. Um, Especially considering this is the first time that IO has really done gunplay like this. Because the Hitman games are not third person shooters. You can shoot in third person, but they're not made for that purpose. Um, so it's cool to see them make a game with like action set pieces for real.
Yeah.
Um,
But
so I think they have an opportunity to make a cool espionage stealth hybrid game.
how about
Yeah.
you two, Bree or Ira?
I haven't seen anything about it. I just know of its existence because I think we either talked about it in person or like I've seen mentions of it on the internet.
We talked about it
But
on the podcast.
I don't know. I just don't. Yeah. We surely did. And um, in like taking a quick peek at the trailer on mute, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's for me. But I'm happy for James Bond fans. I know that this is a big thing.
I'm James Bond fans.
Right,
I'm your only
exactly.
fan. I've heard nothing.
Okay. Well,
So I know nothing.
so let me give you some details. So, in this special state of play, they showcase footage from two missions that highlighted the game's immersive design and cinematic flair from a covert operation at a high stakes chess tournament in Slovakia, which I didn't realize that was what was going on in that mission. Closing with a high altitude showdown to an infiltration of a lavish gala in Kensington, London. These missions offer a glimpse into the living and breathing worlds that Bond will navigate as he discovers the world of espionage. In terms of the gameplay loop, from day one, they say they've designed the game so you can approach your objectives how you want, through what they call the creative approach. Maybe you'll slip in unnoticed and reach your goal without anyone knowing you were there. Maybe you'll go in loud, using every weapon and gadget at your disposal. Or maybe you'll use a bit of both and improvise, turning whatever the situation throws at you into an opportunity. As part of the creative approach, there are different aspects of James Bond's set of skills that are reflected. Spycraft is your toolkit
No.
for the quieter side of the job. You can eavesdrop on conversations for intelligence, lift a keycard from a distracted guard's pocket, or piece together clues from environmental details others might overlook. Every bit of information can open a shortcut or give you a way around a challenge or a crowded security room. I love immersive sims. Instinct is Bond's natural aptitude in gameplay form, reflecting his quick thinking and adaptability. It's a limited resource that will fill itself as you take down enemies, complete objectives, etc. You can use it to lure a guard toward you for a silent takedown, bluff your way past someone who's getting suspicious, or give you a bit more time to take the perfect shot during a firefight. The bluffing mechanic is so cool. So you can just straight up press a button to lie to people to try and get out of sticky situations. And that's really cool. In terms of
What
gadget,
makes this
sorry, go ahead.
different from a what makes this different from like a Hitman game?
More action and
I see.
a more overarching story.
Okay.
In terms of gadgets, gadgets from Q Branch are an essential part of your toolkit, giving you plenty of possibilities to tackle each situation you face. You might hack a camera system to clear a path, cut through a locked door with a laser, or distract a guard long enough to slip by. We want them to feel like natural extensions of Bond's skill set, not just one-off tricks. As you progress through the missions, you will unlock more gadgets empowering you through your journey to become a fully fledged spy. And combat. Combat in 007 First Light is built to feel true to Bond with control, efficiency, and visceral. You'll swap between precision gunplay and up close brawls without missing a beat. In tight spaces, Bond can throw an opponent over a railing, smash them against a wall, disarm them in one smooth motion, or use the nearest object to incapacitate them. Melee skills include parries,
Batman?
throws, basically, and takedowns. Designed to look cinematic but still feel responsive in your hands. When encounters escalate to lethal force being used, Bond earns his license to kill, allowing him to use his marksmanship with firearms being thrown into the fight without slowing down. And because gadgets are a part of his combat toolkit, you'll be able to use them expertly to disorientate an enemy before taking him out. The mix of melee, ranged weapons, and gadgets means every encounter feels unpredictable, personal, and very much like stepping into the 007 fantasy. And lastly, set pieces. A feature they're also proud to introduce is one of the driving sequences, which will be present throughout the game. As we saw in the gameplay deep dive, we'll be able to use our skills behind the wheel during high speed chases and other tense situations to make sure Bond gets to his objectives, especially if he has to take a shortcut. They also wanted to deliver on the action set pieces that have been part of the franchise's history and include big moments that reflect the stakes of the world of espionage, including being thrown out of an airplane in full flight. This releases March 27th, 2026. And man, talking about Bond set pieces, Krishna, you gotta watch Thunderball.
I have not seen Thunderball.
Thunderball is good,
And
man. The set piece at the end of that movie is, mind you, this is a movie from the 60s. And the last 20 minutes of that movie is fully underwater.
that's what I was about to ask. It's underwater, right?
It's insane. I love that movie for that from those last 20 minutes alone. Thunderball's so good. I love James Bond. No, I've been slowly going through all of the older movies, starting from the very beginning, and I'm having a good time.
This game low-key sounds like a perfect setup for like a John Wick game
It
almost.
does.
True.
Now we gotta get on.
Just the way that they outlined everything, I'm like, this low-key sounds like John Wick.
Yeah, I need IO Interactive to make a John Wick game. Low key, I'd like the Sifu devs, Slow Clap, to make a John Wick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now that would be cool.
But now we're getting into the. This isn't the last thing, but it ties into the last thing because we're getting into the Nintendo section of the podcast because there was a big Nintendo Direct
Yeah.
recently.
That was crazy.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
so many.
we're gonna
games.
start with the fact that Nintendo now has a U.S. patent on summoning characters.
Which is crazy. That's really blowing
This
me.
is nuts.
Yeah.
This is coming from Vicky
Wow.
Blake at IGN. It suggests any game that makes use of the mechanics listed below could now potentially trigger an infringement lawsuit from Nintendo. 1. There must be a PC, console, or other computing device, and the game is stored on a drive or similar storage medium, meaning it just needs to be a video game. You can move a character in a virtual space. You must be able to summon a character. They call it a sub-character, by which they mean it's not the player character, but for example, a little monster such as a Pokemon that the player character has at their disposal. Then, the logic branches out, with item 4 and 5 being mutually exclusive scenarios, before reuniting again in item 6. 5. This is about summoning the sub-character in a place where there already is another character that will then, when instructed to do so, fight. 6. This alternative scenario is about summoning the sub-character at a position where there is no other character to fight immediately. And 7. This final step is about sending the sub-character in a direction and then letting an automatic battle ensue with another character. It is not clear whether this is even needed if one previously executed step 4, when the sub-character will basically be thrown at another character. That's a lot of technical jargon, but overall, they are trying to stop people from doing something that has existed in games before Pokemon, mind you. And Haley McLean, who is a video game lawyer and the community manager for MinMax on YouTube, gave her very knowledgeable insight. She says, patents are used to reward ingenuity for new, useful, and non-obvious inventions and improvements. But instead, in the game space, they are being used to attempt to block ingenuity by granting monopoly periods to game mechanics, which arguably do not meet the basic criteria for patentability. Game mechanic patents are bad for the industry, and they are bad patents. They are an abuse of the system, which is clearly decades behind with games, and are using the guise of software language to protect ideas and instill fear into the marketplace. And I couldn't have put it better myself if I tried. Of course, because she's a lawyer who's been dealing with this. So this is insane.
Very
Who
much so.
cleared for this patent? Like, who went through and was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's legit. I'll pass it.
Probably somebody who doesn't know a whole bunch about video games, so they're like,
And
yeah,
that's
sounds
the whole
above
thing.
board.
Patents, when it comes to video games in general, is behind, decades behind. We've talked about it before, the Nemesis system. WB should not have been able to patent the Nemesis system. And, like she says, granting a monopoly period to game mechanics. The Nemesis system can't be used by anybody else. For those that know what the Nemesis system is, it was used in a game developed by WB called Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, which are Lords of the Ring games. And the system allows essentially for very incredibly intelligent AI enemies to form grudges with the character and be reoccurring enemies as a result, and like over time grow to hate the character more and more and become this storyline. And it's really cool, and nobody else can use it. No one else can even iterate on it. And that was what, 2016 that they did that? It's been almost 10 years. If they imagine the games that could use the Nemesis system, dog. Imagine Assassin's Creed with the Nemesis system. Imagine GTA with the Nemesis system, dog. Imagine all of the
Imagine a
games with
like
the
a
Nemesis
Star
system.
Wars game with the Nemesis, like literally any property.
Right.
That could be
Imagine
very cool.
how far the Nemesis system would have come if they didn't patent it.
And now the studio that developed it can't use it because they don't exist.
Exactly. The studio that
Yeah.
created it no longer exists.
That is crazy.
They were working on a Wonder Woman game. I've talked about this a lot. I'm so mad that they canceled that Wonder Woman game. Yeah. And now we got Pokemon trying to stop people from summoning characters. Final Fantasy. You summon characters in Final Fantasy. You summon characters in Shin Megami Tensei and Persona. You summon characters in a great mini games. Are they going to go after the entirety of the game industry? Sometimes it feels like Nintendo thinks nobody else should be allowed to make games except them.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like actively steal ideas from other people too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Now, Pocket Pair and Pal World, they poked the bear. Now the bear's awake.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, everything about Pal World is fine except for the fact that they blatantly stole designs. That was their mistake. They should not have done
Yeah.
that. Everything else is like, I played Pal World when it came out and I loved it. I haven't played it since, but goddamn, when I was playing Pal World, I was playing Pal World. I already know. We were talking about Pal
I
World
know.
a lot. Pal World is fun. I might have to get back into it because it's coming back. It's coming out, I think, in full soon. And we should play it. That game's fun. It's Pokemon, but they have guns, and it's a what do you call those games? Like a survival game where you like build your own homes and stuff like that, and you have to like
Sandbox.
build machines that you then make essentially your pals' slaves, kind of not actual slaves. They're your pals. They're your friends. They're helping you. You're not forcing them. You give them home. No. You give them homes. You give them food. They choose to do this because they love you, and then you can, if you want, kill them and eat them. But
Just sounds really familiar. Just saying.
but again, it's at the end of the day, everything I just described is nothing that you can do in Pokemon because it's not a Pokemon game, except for the fact that they did the stupid mistake of stealing designs. Like, they had it in the bag. All they had to do was make original designs that were inspired by Pokemon rather than straight up. All they did with almost every single one of their characters was just take two Pokemon and merge them together. That was stupid of them.
Hey,
That was
it's
so
like the
stupid of them.
RDC skit. The RDC skit, he was like, "This is not the same." People are saying they're parallel designs, but they're really perpendicular designs.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, change the designs. Just change the designs. You change the designs and everything's fine. If they never had the same designs to begin with, it wouldn't be a problem. They ruined it for everybody. But at the same time, at the end of the day, this is on Nintendo. Stop this.
As in, Nintendo chose to do this.
Hopefully,
Very greedy.
all, because there's a lot of lawyers like getting into play, being like, this is weird. They shouldn't be able to do this. And hopefully, this is able to be stopped. Because they've done this for other games in different patents in other countries. So it's like, we can't let Nintendo do this. They're being weird. You don't own games.
Straight up.
You don't own gaming. They're going to try and patent games.
As a concept, they're gonna patent mustaches on characters.
You're not allowed. You can't jump in games. We invented that.
Right.
Every game has to be a Souls-like with no jumping.
That's bleak to even think about, honestly.
But moving on to the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Yay, more game.
The day after the Direct, which I think was the 14th. The Direct was the 13th and it was the 14th. Or maybe the Direct was the 12th and it was the 13th. I don't know. Either way, the day after the Direct was Mario's 40th anniversary. So the beginning of the Direct focused on that. And they showed us a teaser for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is releasing sometime next spring in 2026. And apparently, it was leaked beforehand. But luckily, I didn't get spoiled. So I was surprised. Because I thought they were going to do Super Mario World. Which I honestly still think they should have done. Why are they jumping to Galaxy? Do World, then Galaxy.
Another movie.
Yeah, the end they showed Yoshi. Yoshi was introduced. Super Mario World.
Mhm.
So, do Super Mario World, introduce Yoshi, then do Galaxy. What's happening? They're probably going to do World eventually, but it's weird that they went straight to Galaxy. I'm curious, who do you think are they going to get to voice Pauline? Now, I heard a really good fan cast, and I'm like, makes sense. But I want to hear you guys first, and hopefully you don't say what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about
I haven't thought about it
Yeah, me
either.
neither.
So I heard somebody say Ariana Grande, and I was like, you know what?
That's crazy.
That's good.
Hmm.
That's good.
I can see
That's
it
not
though.
bad. Yeah, I can see it.
What's that actress's name? She plays Yelena Belova, whatever. She plays the White Widow in Thunderbolts and Black Widow. And she was in that one movie with the flowers. Why am I forgetting this woman's name? Florence Pugh.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I'm just thinking of white woman. Like, what is a good white woman who could play this character? Also,
it. Looking at her picture right now,
another-
I'm trying to like put someone to this person.
Uh,
like
an-
what?
another reason I'm low key upset that they're not doing World before Galaxy is another character that could have been introduced in World that probably won't be introduced in Galaxy, or at least I hope not, because that would be too many characters and they wouldn't get the spotlight they deserved. Is Daisy, because Daisy wasn't in the first movie.
Mm.
Really, what
The second
the-
movie should have introduced Daisy and Yoshi, and the story should have been focusing around that. And now there's no
I was
way.
gonna say, they could have done Land and. Oh, go ahead.
But now they're probably like they tease Yoshi at the very end of the movie, so it'd be weird if they didn't follow up with Yoshi and Galaxy. So I'm curious what they're going to do with that. That's interesting that they decided to go in this direction. But they also, I'm sorry, what are you going to say before I move on?
They could have done Land and World in one movie, and we could have seen Dinosaur Island and Sarasa Land if they were thinking.
Yeah. And now either they're going to have to try and shove that into this movie somewhere or save it for the next one, which feels weird to go from
That's where the
to go from space back down to the planet to a different like island. That's weird.
no see, Deshaun. What they're gonna do is the rocket is gonna launch because they're totally gonna get it. You just know they are. It's not gonna be like
They're going to pull some like
Right.
Odyssey stuff.
I'm saying, and it's gonna launch from Sarasa Land. Trust. Daisy's gonna have a full space program. I have sight beyond sight.
That would be hilarious.
It's a Kerbal.
Right. Mario space program.
But yeah, they also announced that they are releasing a 2-pack of Super Mario Galaxies 1 and 2 for $70 for a port of two 20-year-old games.
I did not know that. That is crazy.
These games came out
It's bleak.
20 years ago.
Hey,
Might I
It looks so good.
remind you?
shoot.
Might I remind you? Dispatch is $30.
Wow.
Hmm.
Hey, Nintendo's gonna have to file a patent against me.
I'm
Hey,
saying.
I'm gonna turn into Johnny Depp real quick. I'm gonna be Jack Sparrow out here. I'm a pirate. Hey. Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
it's
I mean,
crazy
that's already how
to
people are playing
me
those games.
that-
Yeah.
Because it took them this long to finally add them.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
the people who bought Super Mario 3D All Stars somehow are winning all these years later, which is insane to me.
It's so stupid that was a limited run. Nintendo's
Really, for real.
they're so weird. Why do they do these things?
They're
Because
they're
they know
the
they can get away with it.
yeah.
They
like,
can't keep
they're
getting
the,
away with this. Speaking of Dispatch.
Like I feel like somebody made the comparison, and it's like Nintendo's the Louis Vuitton, the video game companies. It's like they're
Ooh.
they're
They're
like
racist?
a fashion
I'm sorry.
luxury.
I mean that too, but
I mean, yeah. It like in regards to just they're like a fashion house for video games, and like are and it's like their games are like certain outfits, or like their games are like certain shirts, and it's like, oh, this shirt from this runway show, you're gonna have to pay this much money to play it, or this much money to get it. The price in the resale market is crazy for the games. Like it's like you're getting a pair of shoes.
Yeah, I had
It's
to, and
also
I got.
what's getting me is the DLCs, man, especially for
Oh,
Pokemon.
yeah, we're gonna
Like
get
when you
there.
release
We're gonna get there.
oh my god.
So next we have Mario Tennis Fever, which looks fun. I don't think I've ever played a Mario Tennis game. Uh, but
You're not missing anything.
yeah,
Played the Sega tennis game.
I played Pong, but this does look good. Look, it looks fun. I heard the last one was lame, so hopefully this one is better. Last in the Mario 40th anniversary stuff, and I gotta talk because people were pretending like this isn't like a Mario game, and it's Yoshi's in the mystery book, and I'm like, brother, Yoshi's a Mario character. People were pretending like, why are you showing us a Yoshi game in the Mario 40th? Because he's a Mario character. He was introduced in Super Mario World. He's a Mario character.
It's like straight up.
But anyway, join Yoshi for a new adventure in Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, launching on Nintendo Switch 2 in spring 2026. One day, on the island where Yoshi and his friends live, a peculiar talking book named Mr. E suddenly falls from the sky. This peculiar book's pages contain information about unusual creatures, so Yoshi decides to jump in and help investigate. As Yoshi wanders through the book, you'll make all sorts of discoveries about the creatures you find, and those discoveries will be written down. You'll find lots of unusual creatures residing within the book. A page-turning adventure awaits. This looks cool. It looks fun. Very, very, very much aimed towards kids. Not my cup of tea, but it's cool. I'm glad it exists.
Listen, I'm playing Mario's Yarn World. I need to actually not Mario, Yoshi's Yarn World, and I need to finish it because it is pretty cute. It's a good couch play game.
That's cool. But moving away from the 40th anniversary, we saw Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. On a small island floating in the sea, B characters live their own carefree lives. You're in charge of this island, so create anyone you like to live here as me characters, like ones based on friends, family, and even yourself. Then choose their personality, voice, and choose their personality, voice, and help your me characters enjoy their island life however they see fit. You can see what's on their minds, help them solve problems, watch them interact, cultivate their friendships, and more. Do any of you have experience with the original?
I do, actually. So, as of right now, I am running an island, and it is diabolical. What I do when I play Tomodachi Life is, I'll take characters from whatever I'm watching or like whatever media I'm interacting with at the time, and make them and put them in the game. So, when I started this file, it was when I first started Trigun and when I was fresh off my Nier Automata replay. So we have 2B9S, we have the main 4 in Trigun, and A2 from Nier and Vash the Stampede were married and then got a divorce. So
Now you say main
that's
4.
been a thing.
You say main 4. I'm assuming Vash, Wolfwood.
Right. Millie and Meryl.
Millie and Meryl. Right. Why in my brain?
Of course.
In my brain, there was someone else there that I was replacing Millie with, and I don't know why. Because for a second I was like, "Are you?"
Was it Roberto?
Because for a second I was like, "Why are you not including Millie?" Maybe it was Roberto.
I think it might have been Roberto.
Roberto's
I
out here
thought about putting him on
destroying my brain. Get that man out of here.
I'm saying, get that man out of here. But yeah. So needless to say, when Living the Dream got announced, I was really, really excited. And in seeing that it in this direct, I'm even because it takes all the problems I have with the original Tomodachi Life, where it's really a sit and wait simulator, and like it's one of those things you check up on like periodically throughout the day. The actual game, honestly, I'd call it more of a toy than a game. This feels like it's more interactive. Really,
yeah, it's like a Tomogachi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
I haven't watched the trailer. Does it give like Animal Crossing vibes almost?
It's like Animal Crossing if you didn't interact with the world directly. So instead of you having like a player avatar, you're like the Tom Nook of the universe, where it's like you have
you're the
a
landlord.
hand in what goes on. Yeah, you're the landlord.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
You like being a landlord? Get her.
No, that's so. I wish I was a landlord.
Saying.
I wish I had land to
No one
lord
has
over.
paid rent. I'm saying it's bleak. But yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. Next, we saw Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which includes the Yuffie DLC. It's coming to Switch 2 on January 22nd, and I hear that it runs like a dream. So I'm happy that a whole new audience of people will be able to experience this game, and hopefully Rebirth comes soon. And boy howdy, if they can make that work, they can make anything work on the Switch. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is Final Fantasy VII Remake, but open world. It's a lot of game. It's a big game. It's a good looking game. If they can make that work on the Switch, both Nintendo and Square Enix are gods. I don't know how they're gonna make it work, but I assume they will. Next, this is the biggest one for me. This is what I was waiting for. I knew it was gonna happen. We all knew it was gonna happen. If you know, you know. Okay, if you knew, you knew. It was easy to predict. They gave the release date for Hades 2, and it's in 5 days. Hades 2 releases 1.0 launch on Thursday, September 25th. And it will
I thought it
be
was already out.
in early access, and I've been playing it, and it's really good. But it's not out fully. But it will be next Thursday, and it'll be on Switch. I've been playing on my PC, on my laptop. But now I'll finally be able to play it on my TV, in the comfort of my chair. And it'll be glorious. And it'll be 1080p, unfortunately, but 120 frames per second. That's nice. But yeah, I'm gonna just read this whole article, going over some of the details. All right, this is from Wesley Yin Poole at IGN. Hades 2 is a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and plays at 120 frames per second in TV mode. But yeah, it'll be nice that it's in 120 frames per second. Which is it being 1080p makes me a little upset. And I got it on PC, so if ever I'm upset at the way it looks on my TV while I'm playing on Switch, I'll just pick up my laptop. But like, I wish it wasn't 1080p. Why is it 1080p? It's Hades. What's going on? I'll accept 30 frames per second if it's higher than 1080p. What's happening? I'm actually upset that it's 1080p on Switch, because that's where I want to play it primarily. And I can't get it anywhere else because it's not anywhere else yet. But, a little blurb about the game itself. Battle Beyond the Underworld in Hades 2. Nintendo Switch 2 edition. An action-packed roguelike dungeon crawler that reacts to your every setback and accomplishment. As the princess of the underworld, you'll explore a bigger, deeper, mythic world and vanquish the forces of the Titan of Time, with the full might of Olympus behind you. But yeah, you'll finally be able to play it, Ayera. So I can finally talk to you about stuff, because I've been so vague every time I talk about this game, because I don't want to spoil it for Ayera, because Ayera is trying to go in blind.
I refuse to play it until the full game is out. I didn't play Hades until the full game was out. Now too. So if you're excited, I'm over the
And you will literally be over the moon, because the moon goddess is in the game. But
oh yeah, true.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. This is gonna be my life for about 7 days, because literally the next Thursday goes to Yote comes out. There's an ungodly amount of games that I want to play coming out in October. And Silent Hill F comes out in a few days, but I'm not playing that immediately. Next, we got Kirby Air Riders. We got a reveal of 2 amiibos of Kirby and Bandana Waddle Dee with interchangeable gliders, which is really fun. And a tease at more to come, along with a second Kirby Air Riders Direct. A second Kirby Air Riders Direct has hit the towers, and I don't understand why. Maybe this isn't a month to make that joke.
It's only been 9 days.
Wow.
It's almost been 11 days. But yeah, what was I saying? Kirby. I don't know why they're doing another Nintendo Direct. That last Direct was very comprehensive. What are they going to do? What is he going to talk about? I'm gonna watch it though because it's Sakurai. If he decided there needs to be another direct, I'm gonna trust him. Don't let me down, Sakurai. You haven't yet. Don't start now. I'm not gonna play this game, but I'll watch the direct. I'm not gonna buy it. I can't say I'm not gonna play it. If somebody else has it, I'll play it. I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying fucking $70 for this shit.
Oh my gosh.
I do not care about
$70 for it costs $70.
brother. If they could help it, it would be 80.
I'm saying.
Hell, it'd be
The
100
Kirby
if
Air Riders.
Nintendo had their way.
They're getting there. They're getting there.
Wow.
Surprisingly not, because Xbox was going to start making games $80, and then everybody complained, and they said, okay, we're not going to do it. So surprisingly, we're not getting there as much as it feels like it, and hopefully we never do. $70 is already too much. Like, 65, I'm like, okay. 70, get on my face. Why are you doing this? But next we got Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Fight the war for ancient Hyrule. Step on the battlefield as Princess Zelda, King Rauru, and other legendary heroes as you fight to reclaim your homeland and live the story of Demon King Ganondorf's invasion that was only briefly alluded to in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Fight alongside new and familiar heroes to defend Hyrule from the Demon King. Join Minoru, the sages, and even some brand new heroes in battles against Ganondorf's forces. Combine powerful Zonai devices with your hero's signature abilities to take down powerful bosses and their legions of minions. Team up with a friend and two-player local co-op via split screen or game share. This releases November 6th. And there was a tease at the very end of a construct Link, which is how they're probably going to make him playable in a time period where he wasn't around. And depending on the reviews, this could be my first Musuo game I play in a very long time. I haven't played one of those since I played one of the great mini Dynasty Warriors was on PS3. Yeah. Hopefully this one is actually canon, because they said that about the last one, and then it was this weird alternate reality canon. But I actually want them to tell a story about the stuff that we didn't get to see with Zelda during the imprisoning war. This looks really fun. Next we have the Virtual Boy. Virtual Boy games are being added to Nintendo Online Plus expansion pack, but they are only playable with a replica of the Virtual Boy or cardboard variant that you can slot your Switch or Switch 2 into. And the replica costs $100, and the cardboard one is $20.
How does that work?
You put I don't know how to describe it. You have to look it up. There's a video showing it.
Okay.
You just open a flap and then you slide it in and close it. And then you put your eyes on it as if it's not a headset because you don't put it on, but you sit on a table and then, lean forward. And yeah, I wonder if this means that maybe someday we could see a Virtual Boy 2 and basically, a Switch VR in the future. Because I think if anyone could actually make VR popular, it's Nintendo.
True.
So, it'd be interesting if they decided to go forward and make a new Virtual Boy.
But also, this is a recession indicator to me. Just saying, this is a recession indicator to me. Why is the Virtual Boy back in the year of our Lord 2025? Why is that happening?
I mean, we don't need an indicator. We're in the recession. But
yeah.
This is also just, it's good to preserve these games, even if they aren't great.
Fair, yeah.
Next we have Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake. The full remake of Fatal Frame Project 02, or / Project 02, Crimson Butterfly. This Japanese-style horror adventure game follows twin sisters lost in an abandoned village, haunted by evil spirits. Using the camera obscura, they fight ghosts as the story unfolds. You were saying, are you a Fatal Frame fan, Bree?
Yes, I watched 2 playthroughs of it years ago. I think early high school or something. I don't know, but I was way into it. The story is actually pretty good. I will say the mechanics were kind of wonky at the time, but I'm excited for this remake, and maybe I might even play it, to be completely honest.
Cool. I'm wondering, are you into Fatal Frame at all? I feel like this is up your alley.
It is. It very much is. I love Fatal Frame so much, and I am so glad Fatal Frame 2 remake, because the original Fatal Frame games are really good. They are really expensive to find secondhand because
Mhm.
they weren't that popular when they released. So I'm like, this is good news because still holding out for Fatal Frame 3, lucky.
Yeah,
I feel like if this remake does really,
yeah. I was just about to say this is like a testing bid for that for sure.
hmm and I'm definitely gonna be buying it and playing it.
Yeah. Next, we have a Stardew Valley Switch 2 edition. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition includes mouse controls and 4-player split-screen co-op,
Oh,
and with game share.
Wow.
So you and up to 4 friends can play if one person has the game. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I never considered Stardew Valley being split screen co-op in my life. That was never a thing in my brain. So that's
And say
interesting.
it's not even split screen on the computer,
Yeah.
which is fascinating.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Right.
Witchbrook is the game that those devs are making now, right?
No, the Haunted Chocolatier.
yeah.
Isn't Witchbrook by that team too, though? Who's Witchbrook by?
I'm not sure because the guy that makes Stardew Valley is.
It's by
I'll have to look it up.
Chucklefish.
Oh yeah, Chucklefish is the publisher.
Hold on, who are the devs? Oh, it says Chucklefish are the devs, though.
Does it? Oh, strange. I don't know. I just work here, man.
But yeah, moving on to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We got a new trailer and a release date. Finally, it is releasing on December 4th.
Finally.
This year, 2025. In the trailer, they reveal that Samus will be able to ride a motorcycle, which looks fun. And is getting an amiibo with Samus in her shiny new suit on top of it, alongside 2 other amiibos of Samus by herself and Psylux, the main villain. And my wallet, my poor wallet, because I gotta complete the collection. For those that don't know, I have every Metroid amiibo that exists, and they released more,
Really?
so now
Real
I gotta get the rest. I gotta catch them all. If Pokemon doesn't sue me for that.
Right.
But yeah, I have all of the Samus, the Metroid amiibos. I got Ridley. I got Dark Samus. I got Zero Suit Samus. I got Samus. I got Metroid Dread Samus with the Emmy. I got Samus in the Metroid. Now I gotta get
That's
these.
Samus.
That's me, man. Those things are like $30 a pop now.
Some of these were very expensive. They're gold, and they're staying in the boxes. Next we have
Imagine someone comes over and rips the boxes open.
I will drop kick them out the window.
Like in Spider-Verse.
Next we have DK Bonanza DLC. DK Island is being added as an explorable layer, and a new roguelite mode is being added called Emerald Rush. According to Logan Plant at IGN, each run of Emerald Rush begins by stripping DK of all his skills, including his 5 Bonanza transformations at higher difficulties, and it's up to you to power him back up while also gathering piles of emerald ore. This is done by fanatically exploring layers, fast traveling around with a limited number of barrel cannons, collecting emerald bananas and fossils that restore DK skills and give you the choice of one of 3 perks, and completing goals Void Kong assigns to you at specific locations across the map. It released the day of the direct, but this isn't something I care to spend $20 on.
Oh my god. $20?
That is so. And how much is Bonanza itself?
70. Nope. 80. Nope. It's 70. It's 70. I remember.
Oh,
It's 70. I just remember
$90?
I remember it came
for
out.
a game and
$90.
DLC.
It came up to almost 80 plus tax, and I was upset when I saw the receipt.
That's Bonanza.
It is. It is. It is indeed.
No, I'm just saying, like, for $20 for this DLC that doesn't even seem like it's going to add a lot, you can just buy Hades, like the first Hades with that money and play a
Yeah.
better run.
It's also 75% off right now.
Okay.
So if you haven't played the first Hades, it's 75% off right now.
Crazy.
It's also on
Right, get on that. Don't buy the Bonanza DLC.
It's also on Game Pass again. Next we have Pokemon Pokopia. Pokemon's first life simulation game, Pokemon Pokopia, will release on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026. Playing as a Ditto that has transformed to look like a very creepy human, you can collect wood, rocks, and other crafting materials to create a cozy home. This creepy-ass Ditto can learn moves from other Pokemon and utilize those moves to help build your very own Pokemon paradise. For example, Ugly Ditto can use Bulbasaur's leafage to add greenery to the landscape, or Squirtle's water gun to hydrate plants. By creating a lush, welcoming environment, more Pokemon will visit. I don't want to visit this place because that Ditto looks creepy. Who would want to be there? This trailer was weird as fuck because it was a Ditto in a cave, and then there was a phone or something next to him on the ground. It was Pokedex, and it was a picture of like his like trainer, and then he transformed into this really creepy looking version of their trainer, and then walked out with this really creepy walk animation, and then proceeded to turn its arms into tubes. It was weird. I didn't like it.
To be fair, that Ditto is grieving. They only do that when they're trainers. So,
oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Trainer's 100% dead.
Wow. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. That is great. Okay.
This is Pokemon Animal Crossing with the creepiest Ditto you've ever seen.
I kind of want to play it just because I feel like the creepy Ditto-ness will grow on me eventually. Like it's definitely very scary, but it's kind of charming in its own right because it's so scary, and like the tone dissonance is funny.
Yeah, somebody needs to make a Ditto horror game. And
True.
not
but then Nintendo's gonna get you.
Nintendo is gonna send the real Ditto after you.
What I'm saying.
Next we have Pokemon Legends ZA. New Mega Evolutions have been revealed for Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja. And a paid DLC called Mega Dimension was revealed alongside 2 Mega Evolutions for Raichu. Pokemon Legends EA will be released for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 on October 16th, 2025. Now,
just put it in all one game.
Yeah.
One game.
The fact they're making DLC for a game that's not even out yet.
Exactly.
Nintendo, you've lost your damn mind.
The thing is,
they keep doing that with the Pokemon.
They're now not even pretending that they're not greedy anymore. Because it's like, yeah, sure. People would be willing to buy the DLC if you announced it after the game came out. Announcing it before the game comes out is beyond greed. There has to be another word for that.
Like that might as well just be content. It might as well be in the game.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like literally when they first did this, people complained that the first game was like incomplete, like they were missing so much. And then that's when they came out with the DLC and it was like, what? This is more polished than the regular game. Like this is like the full game itself. Why did you like separate it into a DLC? And they just keep doing it.
See, this is why Game Freak...
And I'm pretty sure they did it at the same time because they know people will complain that it doesn't feel polished. So they're like, all right, here's the unpolished game, and then here's the added piece that you got to pay more for. And it's like, why?
This is why Game Freak decided to make that action game that was showed at a PlayStation State of Play that was very random. Game Freak is, of course, the developers of the mainline Pokemon games, and they are making a hack and slash called Beast of Reincarnation that is going to be on all platforms. And it was very surprising to see the game start. And you're like, okay, this looks cool. And then the Game Freak logo shows up. And you're like, huh? The people who make Pokemon? Yeah, they gotta... Nintendo needs... Somebody needs to teach Nintendo a lesson.
Like a leash. Like, I don't know.
They need to be like humble.
They need to be humble. That's the word I was looking for. Nintendo needs to be humbled. But it's hard to humble them.
Because they are the industry.
They're preventing people from humbling them by using these patents. Because I guarantee you there's a developer out there who can make a better Pokemon game than them. And that's why they're doing this. They know that. They know that they're not. They know that their Pokemon games are ass. And that it just takes the right developer, some indie dev to come in and make the greatest Pokemon game known to man that's not officially a Pokemon game. And they're like, we need to nip this in the bud immediately. Because they're scared of Pal World.
it could a person probably like a person with video game maker or like RPG maker or something could make something better than the Game Freak joints. Like yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Nintendo is about to start really sending out Mewtwo's to kill people.
At this point.
Yeah.
At this point. That's what the next direct is about.
That's what that Sakurai
Just
Direct is
a
about.
hit list.
It's not about Kirby.
Just
You're like,
Crow and
actually, we've
Tail
been making this
Pokemon.
behind closed doors. Here you go.
All right, next we just have 3 games left, guys. We're almost done. We're almost at 3 hours. We're 5 minutes shy. Next we have, I gotta edit this. Next we have Danganronpa 2x2. Relive the chilling and thrilling story in greater beauty and comfort than ever before. 2 complete experiences in one package with entirely new scenario plus the fully revamped original. That's the end of that sentence. Danganronpa welcomes its newest entry with Danganronpa 2x2. Any of you guys have any experience with this series of games?
I've never
Boy, do
played
I.
a Dragon Roping game.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, they look weird.
I used to be big into them when I was in middle school because that was just like the cool thing to do. I had never played the games, only watched the and seeing Nagito Komeda pop up in that trailer was like having 7 hearts.
Whiplash.
Who?
Why on God's green verdant earth are we getting a new Danganronpa game in of our Lord 25? Why is this happening? Who asked for this?
The Danganronpa fans, I guess.
The games
said
aren't
the
even good.
fandom is-
That's the thing. That's the thing, right? That's really pissing me off
I
about
mean,
this.
they're good
The
to
games
somebody.
are not good, which is unfortunate.
The
Y'all should
fandom
play
is
better
just too
visual
strong.
novels.
So next,
Please.
we got something that surprised me. It was very weird place to show this, but we got a longer and more detailed trailer for Resident Evil 9 Requiem than we got anywhere else at a Nintendo Direct. It was random. Also, it looked bad. I'm not playing this on Switch, obviously. I'm playing this on my PlayStation. But the fact that it can run on a Switch is a miracle.
Sure.
And, shout out to Nintendo fans who have always wanted to play, the newer Resident Evil games. Because both Requiem and 7 and 8 are going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2 on the same day, on February 27th next year, 2026. So, shout out to them.
$70.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how much games cost. I mean, this is...
I'm playing.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's legitimately $70, but, like, at least this is a AAA, like, Capcom game, not some Nintendo game from 50 years ago.
Right.
Nintendo's about to re-release Pong for $80.
And they don't even own that IP.
No, they don't.
And then they're going to patent it. They're going to be like, well, you can't make a game
With balls. You
that
just can't
looks like
have a
table
circle.
tennis.
Circles just can't
Yeah.
exist in
Right.
games. You got to find a different shape. But last, Fire Emblem, Future's Weave, or Fortune's Weave. We didn't get any information other than the trailer. They just said, here's the trailer. It comes out next year. There's no write-up. There's no little blurb on the Nintendo website. It's just, here's the game. Because they know that people are going to buy it because it's Fire Emblem. There's a reason there's like 1,000 Fire Emblem characters in Smash Bros. People play these games. People like these games. People love these games. Will this be the first one I play? Probably not. But maybe. Perhaps. Potentially. It looks interesting. There's this dude who looked like a combination of goddamn Sephiroth and Alucard. So maybe. Perhaps. Anyway, that's it. I'm Dijon. No, I'm joking. This has been the 5th anniversary episode of the podcast, and I'm going insane because we've recorded for 3 hours, and then I have to edit all this before Tuesday. So yeah, this is great. It was great to have you all here. I'm very
I was starving.
Yeah.
very hungry. I'm so hungry. I'm
Oh
the
yeah,
most
I'm
I've ever
hungry
been.
too.
Me too.
The
I feel-
last bit of this.
I
not
feel-
gonna lie.
I feel like an idiot. Well, first of all, let me do the outro and then we'll keep talking. I'm Jisha. Actually, no, before we wrap this up, 5th anniversary. How you guys feel to be a part of things? Keep it, you can keep it brief. I know we all want to wrap up. How do you guys feel now being a part of this podcast, in this 5th year?
It's a lot of fun. I'm
Crazy.
glad that you like invited me on a few times and then was like, "Hey, you want to do the book club?" Because like it's been a great time so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I like seeing what's gonna like come out of this later on. Since you're making so many like big changes.
Yeah, same. With me joining on recently as well, it's been cool joining to just have conversation about art. Sometimes just watching things is cool, but it's cool to just hear other opinions and be in community. So yeah, it's been cool to join on for sure.
It's just so strange that like I joined a year or so ago, like
Two.
and I have two years. God, we're getting old. Um but like, every other Sunday it's like, oh, it's podcast day, and I tell it's really neat being a part of something like this.
Yeah, it's real fun. I've been here the whole time. As Sam Rush says. Um,
I sure hope so.
sometimes it's my clone. Um, but yeah, I have a good time
Solid
doing this.
Dijon.
Solid Dijon. I'm Liquid Dijon. No, Liquid Dijon is my evil clone. And there's
Oh, okay.
and there's a secret third clone named Solidus Dijon. These are Metal Gear references if you don't understand. But yeah, to wrap things up, I'm Dijon. You can find all of our ads in the link in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more storytelling content, and to click the notification bell so that you're notified when we post. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.